Greetings, Patrick here. Have Cheetah Will View. And yeah, guess we decided to go up for a little bit after all. So here I am. Here we are. The cheetah is downstairs. Uh that's good. He's down there. He got a lot of snacks this year. So he's one happy boy. I'm not sure if I might be joined by Casey tonight. I'm not sure if he's going to join me or if he's going to zip on over and hang out in the boneyard. I know that the boneyard is doing a watch party. Yeah, I'm not in the mood for a watch party, so um, not yet, not yet. Might do one. I actually might do one tomorrow. I'm thinking about doing one for Brightwood, since you guys have heard me talk about the movie all this time, and now it's playing on Tubi. I thought, well, maybe tomorrow would be a good day to do that. So that's probably what I'll do tomorrow night. Is fire it up, and see if people want to come in and check out Brightwood on Tubi. Uh, that is my movie of the year, by the way. I'm going to tell you the rest of my my top 20 and my bottom 10 a little bit later. Uh, so yeah. It's pretty weird around Michigan warm here. It's crazy how warm it is. This is like I think this is probably the warmest winter I've seen here. In fact it's just absolutely, I'm looking at it now, it's 48 degrees. It's it's a little nippy, but it's not nearly what it usually is here. Um, we got some rain, light rain. We got some of that last night. Um, yeah, it's just really a weird. I mean, I was watching another channel. I was watching a train channel, and they showed Missouri, and showed it was snowing in Missouri, but not anything like you think. So it's just been a weird day, a weird season for sure. Um, no, I didn't do anything for Christmas. I know people say, "What'd you do for Christmas?" I pretty much did nothing for Christmas. Watched a couple of movies. Um, the cheetah got some treats. I got him some treats. So that was really good. That was really what made me happy. That's basically it. Uh, Came up here and watched what other people got for Christmas. That was cool to see. A lot of people got a lot of nice stuff. I was really cool. I tell you what was really cool. Um, was to around and seeing somebody in our community. He got some presents and he put them all out. And one of the things that he got the Twilight set. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. Thank you so much for that. Because, you know, hi, Mary. Uh-oh. She's been sick with the flu. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, hopefully you'll be feeling better by the 7th. That's right. Mary Wilson will be our IFC midnight hostess. We will be watching Our House on January 7th. Hopefully you feel better. I know a lot of people got sick this year. A lot of people got sick this year. Hey Reed, how are you, sir? How are you? Uh, you want to come up, Reed? Keep me company if you can. Merry Christmas to you, sir. I know you'll be. I know you'll be ready for that, Mary. I thought Casey was going to come up here, but I'm not really sure. So if either one, I know Mary, you're sick, so I won't ask you. But Reed, if you want to come up, let me know, and I'll send you the link, and we'll just chop it up. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to this. We are starting off. We are starting off 2024 off with a bang right here. This is Our House, IFC Midnight. this is just a really good movie. This is probably as closest as a family movie that you'll get on ISC Midnight. It is really, really good. I enjoyed this tremendously. I definitely thought it was one of the better films I watched. Oh, hey Dal, what's going on, brother? Do you want to come up? I have the link here if you'd like to come up and hang out a little bit before our interview date on the 11th. I do have the link here, so if you want to come up and hang out, I'm going to be doing my top 20 and my bottom 10 on here. So if you guys all want to come up and clown on my picks or take notes on what great movies are really like. Um, Hey, Anthony, how are you? Hopefully, you guys are all having a great day. Um, yeah. So, of course, football with football's it was good. It was good and bad for football. Bad for football because the Spartans lost again in their bowl game. They just woke up way too late. They ended up losing 24-14 to Coastal Carolina. That's the fourth straight loss, bowl loss. The most frustrating one as well, considering that they were, really supposed to be quite good this year. And I really did. I thought they would really. Of course, I thought that last year with Eastern Michigan too, right? And Ball State. I just thought they would win. Too much happening in this house. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's cool. That's cool. Um, yeah. Oh, Mary says she took NyQuil and she'll be sleeping soon. That's yeah. NyQuil will definitely definitely will put you to sleep. That's for sure. That's a good one to it's a good one to drink. That one will make you very very sleepy. Me, I listen to white noise. I have my phone next to my ear, and then I will listen to something, like a train, like trains will go by or a storm. Uh, I fell asleep to a huge ass 5 hour block of PSAs, which were really sort of scary, but I fell asleep to them anyway. Um, yeah, I don't know what happened with that. It's just some of the stuff you listen to fall asleep on. You think that you listen to just running water or rivers or something like that, but sometimes you put on a radio show. Sometimes that'll happen. You put on an old radio show um, like the Mystery Theater. You put that on there. That'll take you to sleep. Um, of course, me and like I said, I was hoping that. Hey, Brene, how are you? I have never done fan noise. Like I said, the weirdest thing I think I've listened to as far as white noise this year was I found a huge block of PSAs and I listened to those. And I thought, wow, I'm never gonna fall asleep to this. I'm gonna have to change this out. But I fell asleep to it. I was asleep within 20 minutes. And I was like, wow, really? Did I really fall asleep to PSAs? I guess I did. Yes, Merry Christmas to one and all. 2024 is coming up soon. And yeah, we are working hard on the calendar for 2024. We hope that we'll have our calendar filled up, hopefully within 1 or 2 more days, before we roll into it. We got some interesting things on tap, definitely for sure. And we will see what comes up. Um, yeah, we only have one show this week. We're doing a show on Thursday night with our friend Jason, the nice one. In fact, I think he's actually doing a watch along too. I think he's doing a tribute to Ryan O'Neal on his channel. Uh, I saw that right before I came up. I knew that he said he was going up, but I didn't know what he was doing until I saw it. Ryan O'Neal. He passed away, I think, last week or so. Um, yeah, he was a big star back in the day. Big star. Um, he did Paper Moon that got his daughter an Oscar when she was 12. He also was well known as for being Farrah Fawcett's soulmate. Um, and he also did a very, very, very famous movie called Love Story, which he starred with Ollie McGraw, who was a really fine actress in the 70s. She sort of retired sort of early, but Love Story came out in 1971. It was a massive hit when it came out. Okay. So I don't know. I do my top 20s. I do it a little bit differently. I do there are some people can watch every movie that comes out during the calendar year. Unfortunately, I am not able to do that. I can't go to the theater that much. Oh, we're going to be joined by our fellow Team Geigan member,
Hello.
the mighty Pacey.
What's going on?
Hell yeah! Look at don't mess. Oh, look at that.
No,
This is like the perfect picture, isn't it?
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't have 20 films. I got 10 and 10. I told you that. I
Oh,
don't know
that's
how in
nice.
depth I can talk about each of them, but I do have a list.
No, that's fine. I think now everybody's gonna be just sitting there. Your cat loves that position.
Hmm.
You had him on the other day. He was right there doing that. That's the best. When a cat sleeps on you, that's the best sign. Because Paladin does that with me. I'll get on underneath the blanket, and there's times where I can just like instantly know when there's like 15 pounds of added weight on my hip, and I'll wake up and there he is looking at me, which freaks me out. Let's see. Brene mentions Ryan O'Neal passed away on your birthday. Wow. I loved him with Madeline Kahn and Barbara Streisand in What's Up, Doc? Oh, gosh, yes. Yes, that was a very cute movie as well. Very cute. Yeah, he was a big star back in the 70s. He was, yeah, people don't even know. Now, what happens now this is what, that's, which cat is this one, Casey? Because you have two of them.
Max.
So do they change spots? I mean, do they?
Every now and then, Holly doesn't get on my lap as much, but she'll go on. She's more like she'll get on my leg when
Right.
he's like on the ground.
And that's the best. That's the best right there. It really is. That's the ultimate love. Now, how old is Max now?
Maybe still under a year, maybe
Wow.
10 months or something.
And he's already doing that. That's a lifetime right there. That's a lifetime behavior, right there. He'll do that for the rest of. He'll do that he'll do that for winter for the weather. If it's cold, he'll definitely do that. In the summer, probably not so much, but he will. But he will do that in the fall time, and you'll know when the weather's changing before the temperatures do. Cats know before we do when the temperature changes. So I was just explaining how you and we both do our movies the same way. As far as ranking them goes, we do our movies based on what we have watched for the first time, not like what came out during that calendar year. Um, I watch based on what I've watched for the first time. Um, I think it's more entertaining that way in a sense because especially the way as far as my collection goes. Um, I buy a lot of my movies used. I buy them at the library and what have you, and I get tons of them that way. And so I go ahead and that's how I do it. I went ahead and cranked out 20, and then I went for the bottom 10. And I keep a running count on my letterbox. For this year, I actually watched a lot of movies. For me, I watched about 150. That's not bad for me. Uh, the last couple of years has actually been really not that many. But this year I found myself watching a lot more. Let's see. Oh, no problem, Mary. That NyQuil is kicking in. So we will be seeing you again on Sunday, January 7th at 8 p.m. For the first IFC midnight show of the year. And we will be watching the movie that Mary picked out for us. And she picked out Our House. So, yeah, Mary's a great person to pick. She knows her IFC movies. She picks out some great movies for us to watch and talk about. Our House. We also watched The Harvest, which was a really good movie as well. Just fantastic films. And I'm so glad we're bringing the series back in the beginning of January. We're not doing it in December. If you notice, there's no IFC show in December. There probably will be 2 coming out in January. I think. If not, then we're going to do the one in January, then go back to our regular rotation with Horror with Haas, and of course the other member of Teen Guy Gang, Ben, from the Cadaver Club. Thank you all for coming out and hanging out with us. So what should we do first, Casey? So I mean, I guess we could ask everybody in the chat to let them know. Like, do you want to see the good movies first, or do you want to see the movies that we just hated so much? I personally find it much more fun when people do their bottom 10 list.
I'd see you got an extra 10, so I think you should do your 20 to 10 best, or 20 to 11th best, and then we can go and do the bad, and then finish on the top.
Okay, so that's a good idea. Let's do that. I'm going to go ahead and do my top 20 from 20 till 10 or 11, and then we're going to do our horrible ones, and then we'll do our top 10. What's going on, Timothy? Thank you so much. Hopefully you had a great holiday as well. Glad you guys are all here. So yeah, I can get this party started because I know you guys all want to know what me and Casey watched. So we're the top 10 for the top 20. Okay, so top 20. Woo, all right. Are you guys ready? I mean, are you guys ready for this? All right. So number 20 was Sewer Gators. Sewer Gators was a hell of a lot of fun. I thought it was it was a lot of fun to see how much heart went into making this movie. Is it like a really good movie? I mean, is it something that you're gonna rush out and throw in front of all your friends? Probably not per se, unless you're creature feature fans like me and Casey are.
I don't even know what Sewer Gators is. Is that the basically the movie? There's gators in the sewer?
Yeah, Sewer Gators.
Okay.
What does it matter what the gators look like as long as there's gators? And you do see the gators. I'll tell you that right now. These are gators. They're not just like, well, we don't have any money for gators, so we'll just talk about them, and that'll be our gator. Because they did that once before, and they called it Pie Wacket.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, well, no, it's all right. Nobody else did either. So Sewer Gators would be my number 20 of my favorite films that I watched this year. AKA the Bat is in the house. I'm sure the Bat will have a fantastic top 20 and bottom 20. I'm sure he'll have that on his channel soon. So I did Sewer Gators. That was number 20. Number 19 was this very interesting movie. Very interesting. It was very cool, and it has such an interesting ending to it. But it was called The Curse of Willow Song, and that was directed by Kim Lim. And Karen Lim. I'm sorry, Karen Lim. That was an interesting movie. Very interesting. I really liked it. I liked the story. It didn't have it didn't have a lot of scares on you. It sort of played out more like a almost like a gangster movie, so to speak. But toward the end of it, though, you started seeing where she's trying to she's trying to drive the car to, and this movie had a really good ending, really effective. At the end, if to me, it really sort of felt like I was watching an origin film. It really didn't feel like I was watching a 100% self-contained film. You could definitely see there was going to be a lot more story to be told. And I hear that there might be a short coming out later on in 2024 with some of the characters of Willow Song. So I will definitely keep you guys up to breast on that. Um, I know, right? No doubt. That Max is just he's just relaxed. I guess what's that saying? Chillax and chill. Man, is he purring? Casey, is he
I
purring or
don't
is he
think so.
sleeping?
I think he's asleep.
Oh, it's just, that's the best right there. And he's sort of upside down a little bit. He's sort of like maybe he's got like 5% bad in him or something in there. He looks like he's uh all right. So that was my number 19th. Number 18 was Breakup Mountain. That was by Joe Leone. Um, his second film that we watched and reviewed. The first film that we watched from Joe was Reap from a couple of years ago, and now he did Breakup Mountain. Um, Really fun film, dark comedy. Um, and once again, Joe Leone does what he does really well, and he is a great discoverer of fresh talent. He knows how to cast his movies. Um, in Reap, there's a young lady that just stood ahead and above as far as acting goes, and you just knew it as soon as you saw her on screen. You're going like, "Oh, she's destined for greater things." Um, Same thing with Breakup Mountain. He discovered not one but two actresses that could have bright futures. I'm not sure. One is actually living in Italy, so I'm not really sure about if she's gonna come back here to pick up her career, or she's gonna try it out in over in Italy. But it's a dark comedy. It's really well done. It's funny. It's biting. Um, and I enjoyed it a lot. And I thought Joe did a really nice job. Um, See, Al has a top 13 upcoming. Up 13. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, 13. So that's my number 18th best film. My 17th best film was a film that I heard about. I actually, our good friend Hobbs sent it on my way because I was very much interested in it. And that's the movie with Devanny Penn and Vernon Wells. It was called Frost from Cleopatra Entertainment. And wow, that's a rough one. Um, I remember when Hobbs watched it, he was sort of shaken by it. And it always intrigues me when I watch one of you guys watch a movie and you guys are shaken by it. Like you're sitting there going like, that's some fucked up shit. I watch for that from you guys. I do. When I see someone sit there and say, yeah, that's a couple of years ago or last year we watched a movie called Relic. And I remember talking to Horrific Nightmares JM, and I said, it says, how was Relic? And he said, now this is Horrific Nightmares JM. You got to think, one of the Super Slash brothers, right? That guy has seen absolutely everything. He watched Relic, and I said, well, how'd you like it? And he says, that movie fucked me up. I knew right then and there that I had to see that movie. I had to see it only for the reason why, because I wanted to see this movie would have to be really strong to fuck up somebody like Jason, because Jason has watched absolutely everything. And he was right. He's absolutely right. That movie fucked me up too. Uh, yes, hi Tiffany. Yes, Hobbs is a very good guy, and he sent me Frost with Devanny Penn and Vernon Wells, and there's something really cool for me. I don't know about you, Casey, if you see this way, but I like watching where a screen queen gets their hands dirty.
What do you
I like
mean?
it when they actually do a role where they're like swinging a hammer, swinging a shovel, they're rolling around in the dirt. I mean, you're talking like a beautiful actress, right? She's
Mhm.
stunning. Every time you see her on the black carpet or red carpet, they're stunning. But yet they're not afraid to do a movie where they're covered in gore or blood or they're just not afraid of it. And Devanny Penn is one of those actresses who is stunning to look at. I mean, you see her on the red carpet and you go like, damn, she's just drop dead gorgeous. But she is not afraid to get her hands dirty. She was really strong in The Dawn, and she was really good in Frost. Frost will fuck you up if you're not ready for Frost. Frost is that's a heavy movie. That's a heavy movie, and the end of that movie it's yeah, it's disturbing as hell. I will, and it's based on a true story. It's based on a true story. And I asked her, there's two parts of the movie, like there's two key components of the movie. I said, well, which one's the true part? Was it part one or part two? And she was part one. Man, I'm just like, that's insane. Absolutely insane. She plays a pregnant woman on the verge of giving birth. She gets caught up in an accident. She's trapped in a car. Her dad leaves to try to get help. She has nothing there. She's exposed to the elements, and she gives birth to her baby. And can't go any further than that because of the story. But it is dark as hell. You need a blowtorch to see your way out of that room. Let's see. Yes, Al says he likes Devaney. She's got some chops. Yes, she does. She is just not a pretty face, that's for sure. She works very, very hard, and she's a very good actress. And it's really fun watching her grow. It really is. And of course, her husband is Brandon Slagle, who's made her a lot of fun movies as well. And in fact, he also directed Frost. He directed the movie, and he put his wife through the paces. That's for sure. Um, so my number one movie this year was Frost.
Wait. One. Where?
Huh?
How are you at number one?
No, I'm going for the bottom up. I'm going from 20 to 10, and then we'll do our bottom 10.
Okay. Sorry.
And then we'll do our
Which
top
one?
10.
What number was Frost?
17.
Okay, I think I just either misheard you or you misspoke. Okay.
Number 16. My number 16 film is The Goldsmith from Cinephobia Releasing. Italian horror film, crime horror film. So much fun. So much fun. Absolutely love this movie. Great movie. Fun as fuck. It stars one of the original actresses in Suspiria, the Argento movie. She's in this movie. She plays the matriarch in this film. Fantastic role. Fantastic. Really, really dug it. And it is yeah, it has a great twist ending as well. And it's definitely Italy is if this is like a little renaissance of horror for Italy, more power to it, because this was a fun ass film. And it has some gore in it, but it's a lot of fun. Definitely one of my favorite films of the year. The Goldsmith. An elderly couple is out. Some a gang comes in and they try to steal jewelry and expensive watches, and they end up getting the tables turned on them in the most particular way. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That's number 16 was the Goldsmith. Number 15 was Skinamarink. from ISC Midnight. I know a lot of I'm waiting to see how many people are actually going to have the balls to put Skinamarink on their top list. I have a feeling we'll see a few put them on their bottom one, but I want to see if anybody actually has the balls to put Skinamarink on their top 20 or top 10 list.
I don't know. You might be the only one that liked it, Pat.
It's that's a key word there too. It's like I liked it. I didn't love it. I'll
See,
be the first to tell
that's why I only had like a top 10. Like after that, I was like, I don't know if this should be in a top list. Like these movies are okay. I don't know.
Yeah, Skinamarink is it's a good movie. There is a story there. I think it's a story that people don't want to hear. They don't want to hear it because it's not a happy end. It's not a happy ending. Okay, it's not a happy ending. It's a dark ending, but it is an ending. It's not abstract. It's not just like it's not a not a it's not abstract. It's not a I guess what's the word I'm looking for? Rhetorical. It's not it's a true it is a story. Don't know exactly how it started. I heard some people say it was about abuse in the family. Family. I did not see that. I did not see that part. I watched it a couple of times. I didn't see that at all. But it is a good movie. I definitely would recommend it.
I'm seeing in the chat, Alucard says bottom 5, Skinamarink. He's putting it in the bottom.
I know. What's up with the bat?
This is Lake Fear Man himself.
Yeah, what's up with that? Isn't this cocaine cougar bat right here?
Don't worry, I'll get to some cocaine cougar in a little bit.
I mean, so Al says bottom 5. Wow, we're gonna have to battle. We'll have to battle on that one. I liked it. It's very interesting. Number 14 is another movie from Cleopatra Entertainment called Lion Girl. Lion Girl is based it's a live action based on a anime. And it is a fun movie. Wow, fun. Really enjoyed that. Young talented actress named Tori Griffith. You'll be hearing from her a lot going forward. She is the star of Lion Girl. It is a combination of action, science fiction, creature feature. It also featured Derek Mears in it. He played the main bad guy, and I gotta tell you, people need to use Derek Mears a lot more and let him speak because he played a fantastic bad guy. He more than held his own. He was definitely you're sitting there, you couldn't take your eyes off him when he's on screen. He looked like he was having an absolute ball. I mean, that's what you really want your heavies to be like, right? You want your bad guys to be bad guys. And again, a fresh young actress and Tony Griffith. I know a lot of people might watch this movie and they might be a little bit like turned off by the gratuitous nudity, but don't be because that's how it's how the book is written. If you go read the anime, or I guess the manga, if you go read the book, you'll see that it's very much like that in the book as well. They didn't add anything up just to juice it up. That the director made the movie as the book was made. And so yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Al
Tori,
wants to see it. I want to see it. I haven't I haven't been watching them, but I've been seeing like other people's reviews and like based on the thumbnails and the titles, people seem to be liking it.
it's a very cool
I'm
movie.
surprised that this many people are watching it, you know. Glad.
Yeah, me too. I mean, me too. It's sort of cool to see so many. It's always cool to see channels when they break out movies like this on their list. I totally dig it. I love the fact that they're. It's why I like watching your channel. I like watching Hobbs, Bones. The Bat, Al Lucard here. Dale's the same way when he does his movie swap. There's a lot of movies that come out that aren't necessarily mainstream. I am not a mainstream reviewer. I love the independent stuff. I like the stuff underneath the table. That's where I live at. I love it. I mean, I don't mind watching a big budget movie, but I love the indies. And Lion Girl was just really fun. I really enjoyed the hell out of it. Okay, so that was number 14. Number 13. Number 13 was a documentary of a gentleman I just interviewed last week on the channel. That would be Mr. Nas Red. And the movie is Hellacious. Not Debbie and the Devil. That's the movie that he made. But Hellacious is the documentary of the making of Debbie and the Devil. And I like Debbie and the Devil. I mean, it's a good movie. Not top 20 for me, but the documentary, definitely top 20. Definitely. That was a great documentary. And I really, really, really enjoyed watching it. And as soon as I got done with it, as soon as I got done with watching it, I couldn't get over to his Instagram fast enough to sit there and ask him to come talk to us about the movie, about his filmmaking. That guy has overcome so much, and he deserves all the success that he's going to get, because I do believe he's going to have I do believe he'll break out. And so Hellacious is a story about how him and his crew, how to make this movie, they had to go through the pandemic. They had to go through a really scuzzball animator who almost took him out of the whole movie. The movie it took them it took them 18 months to figure out what they were going to do with the animation. This guy held him hostage with his, saying, it's just, you just
What?
watch this documentary and it's like, you just shake your head. Yeah, they hired him to do some animation on the movie.
Okay,
And
so the Debbie and the Devil is not an animated movie. It just has some animation in it.
yeah, just a little
Okay.
bit. Yeah, it's an anthology film. There's 3 stories. The wraparound is animated. The wraparound's animated, but the movie itself, the stories itself are all live action. So Hellacious is on Tubi. So if you want to see that, it's right there. Remember, these are movies that I've seen for the first time this year, and so number 12 for me is the Autopsy of Jane Doe, that Haas picked out, or Ben picked out for us for the ISC Midnight Show. I've had it for years. I've just never watched it. Watched it for the ISC show. Fantastic movie. Holy shit, that's a great movie. That's a great movie.
I'm gonna get a Coke. I'll be right back. You can keep
Sure.
going.
Thank you guys for all sticking around watching. Of course, I also let us know too if you guys are already doing your top 10 or top 20 as well. We definitely want to go over there and show you love if you're doing it. We know that Al's going to be doing his top 13. Are you going to be doing a top 13 and a upside down 13 too, Al? Let's see. Yes, that is a great one too. Man, you know what? I love to see you interview him, Al. I love to see you get the interview Nas Red. I think that would be a really interesting interview as well. Super nice guy. Wow, super nice guy. Is Max waiting for? Is he waiting for you to?
No, that's in like this little. It's like a beanbag chair, but it's kind of like on its like axis, so it's more like a cat bed. He's got the squishmallow in it. I know you're all about squishmallows.
Let's see. Probably bottom 5. What's bottom 5? Oh, not Hellacious. No, that can't be bottom 5. That's a documentary. It's super good. It's really, really well done.
No, I think he's saying that he's gonna do a top 13 and then a bottom
Oh,
5.
right. Bottom 5. Oh my gosh, I can't
Yeah.
even. You know what? Al's got a hard job ahead because he watches a lot. He watches a lot of movies so to save us, for we don't have to. So I can't even imagine him trying to do just just to do a bottom 5. He'll be there 6 months trying to pick it up.
So now he's in the beanbag chair with the squishmallow.
Yeah, he's got the life of Riley. Okay, so number 11, and then we're gonna stop, and then we're gonna do our bottom one. So I put one. This is a trilogy because I sort of felt like these could have been all one movie or one part of a movie. It just felt like I watched them all, and I went like these all could be part of a movie. Number one would have been The Den. The Den we watched at IFC midnight. Fantastic movie, mind blowing movie. It's a mind blower. It's not for the lighthearted. It is very, very good. Haas picked it out. It's brutal. Um, then I watched my 31 Days of Halloween, and so I watched the next two. I watched the one I watched first was Bound to Vengeance. Shit, Bound to, Bound to Vengeance is a badass movie. Holy shit, that's a ride. And it really is a spiritual sequel to The Den. It really is it's a spiritual sequel.
Is it made by the same people, like
Not by the
director?
same people, no. But you watch them back to back, and you're definitely going, "Oh yeah, these two guys could have been together."
It's
Definitely.
more of like webcam stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Let's see. Al says he reviewed 4 of the bottom 5. So see, he can't review his bottom 5 all at once because he would just be overwhelmed by it.
Yeah, if I did do a top 20, the Den would probably be somewhere in the bottom 11 to 20, somewhere. I couldn't
Yeah,
figure out where to put anything. So
now the
what's the
Dan,
last in the trilogy?
the last of the trilogy is a movie called Kristy. Now,
That with Sadie?
no, that was
Okay.
with Haley Bennett. So I actually bought this movie. It was weird. It's like I bought this movie off of eBay, and I just thought it was eBay. Said, hey, buy it $3.99. When I got it, it was an import, and I'm like, oh shit, it's German made. And I'm like, well, that's not good. I need, I don't speak German. I wrote back to the person. I said, hey, I need to send this back because I want it to be American. He says, no, no, go ahead and keep it. So I have it, and I didn't even look at the back of it to see if there's subtitles, like just reversed instead of watching it in English with subtitles of foreign language. I think it would be reversed. But then I saw it on Tubi. Kristy was on Tubi, so I decided to watch it. I still have my copy, but I watched it. I watched Kristy on Tubi, and oh my gosh, again, it could have been easily a sequel to The Den. It is really good as well, and yeah, this is sort of the beginning of Haley Bennett. Like she has done some action movies, though she's done more dramatic roles. But she did dabble herself in some action movies. She did The Equalizer with Denzel. She did The Magnificent Seven with Denzel. So she's capable of doing this action, and she was really good in Christie, real good, and surprisingly so. Is Ashley Greene from the Twilight series. She played the antagonist. How she held her own. She was really good in this too. I was like, damn, because you think of Ashley Greene, you think of just a really nice girl. You really don't see her as being really threatening. She's like the best friend's. She's like the main star's best friend. That side of the deal. But she was really vicious in this movie, and it made for a fun ride. So that will be up to number 10. But the Den, Bound to Vengeance, and Kristy were my or was my 11th. So let's see. Have I seen The Shrine? I want to say I think I have a copy of that. I believe I have a copy of that. I have to double check, but I think I do. But I heard that's really good too. I got to figure out what I'm watching from that. I don't know what I'm picking for my next one. All right. So you want to just trade off on our bottom 10?
Yeah, let's start with the 10th worst, and then we'll make our way to the worst. Let me get
Okay.
my list out. Okay. You got yours ready?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. So number 10 I know you seem to like this movie, but I put Amityville in space
Shit.
because
That thing was
it's
that
got
thing
one
was
death scene that was funny, and then the rest of it was pretty bad.
I mean, you know that Tim Hatch made that movie watchable.
Yeah,
If
he had
Tim
the
Hatch,
good scene, but
yeah,
I don't.
if
It didn't
he
make the movie good.
no, no. I mean, if it, let's see, I'll say number 10.
Yeah, I'll
The
say
bat is.
number 10,
I don't
Skinamarink.
understand. You know, I don't
Number 9,
understand.
Skinamarink.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I mean, the house was all dark, man. I would think if anybody would love that movie, it would have been it would have been the bat, you know. But yeah. I mean, Tim Hatch. I mean, he's the only reason why that movie was watchable at all, because he had some humor in it. If they had tried to do that just straight, it was just god awful. Yeah, that's I don't know, that's faint damn praise, I know, but I
I mean,
mean, that's
it's
what really
even worse
surprised me.
because like that's a great title. I don't know why no one did that before. And then they spent all the money on that cover art because it's pretty good cover art too.
Yeah, good cover art. They had Tim Hatch there. He's always reliable as comedy relief. I
See,
mean,
that's
I
the
was
thing. Like, I didn't like the movie. You
yeah.
liked it a little bit, right? It was all right.
It's like
There's a handful of people that genuinely enjoy this movie,
yeah.
which is good. I'm glad, but not for me. That's my number 10th worst movie that I watched this year.
Um, my number 10 was the old classic Jack Frost, not the Michael Keaton one either.
Oh,
Uh,
you didn't like that? If you didn't like that, don't check out the
I,
sequel.
I was so close to going out there and making some icicles so I could jam them in my ears afterwards because that movie was really horrible. I mean, not even Shannon Elizabeth could save that movie. Um, and yeah, that was just yeah. I was like, I don't know who I must have pissed off in another life, but they're getting the revenge on me today.
When did that movie come out?
What I think that came out in the early. I think that came out in the '90s because that's where American Pie came out.
Yeah,
And
but
like,
he's like the snowman looks and moves a lot better than the alien at the monster at the end of Amityville in Space.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, they used more practical effects than
It
Jack
probably
Frost
cost
too.
more
Yeah.
than the whole movie.
Let's see. It's not the worst Polonia. Oh, Tim Patch is the man. It's not the worst Polonia, but Shannon Elizabeth. I know. That's what made her hurt. That's what it hurt because it's like, but Shannon Elizabeth's in here. How can we just be a bottom 10 movie? Oh, it did. It was. It will be. So that would be my 10th worst movie was Jack Frost.
All right, number 9, I have Cattle Bag. Um, so Cattle Bag is a collection of sketches and skits and stuff from Brandon DiCamillo. He was on like Viva La Bam and stuff. But yeah,
Right.
as none of these skits were good. It's just really, I don't know, it was a waste of time. But it had some cool little, like they had like it's like a homemade movie, but they had like an octopus monster, but it was like his hands with like gloves and shit on it. So there's like some creativity to it, but not fun, not funny, just a waste of time.
I don't even know. Are any of
Cattle
those
bag.
guys other than Ryan Dunn because we all know what happened to him. But is there any of 'em- is, are they all still alive with us?
Yeah, I
The
think he's
Jackass
the only
guys?
one that's passed. I thought Bam was gonna pass
Mm,
this year when he was lost in the woods, but I guess he's still around for now. I
for
think the
now.
rest of them are doing fine, except for Bam. But
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
they decided to live normal lives. They wisened up. They're like, hey, I can't live like this my whole life.
See, Al saying definitely watch part two. It'll take the 10th place on your list. Well, yeah, because I don't think it'll have Shannon Elizabeth in it. So yeah, it would definitely take. I just couldn't watch the second one. The first one was painful enough. I'm like, why would I go ahead and just like, and make myself endure the second one?
I'm fine with the first one, but the second one I'm not gonna watch again.
Let's see. Let's see. My number nine. My number nine was, of course, stop me if you've heard this before. It's a Wild Eye movie. So, right there. It was called Suicide Club. Believe me, I wanted to join the club so bad after watching this movie. I wanted to get the membership card, the secret decoder ring, and everything along that goes along with it because this movie just wanted made me just go jump off the roof. Uh,
Who directed that movie? Is it one
um,
of the common faces?
it's an English movie. It's an English horror
Okay,
film.
so it's actually them distributing,
Yeah, they
not,
distributed this
not one of
English
their
movie.
pals' movies.
No, no, this was not a Polonia Pal movie.
At
This was
least they gave it a chance, you know. I meant like
yeah.
like a Brett Kelly or a Polonia or a Ferguson, the people that Wild Eye put out a bunch of their movies.
I'm actually sort of hoping still that because I did not get it. I was sort of surprised. I was hoping to get it. I'll probably have to trade for it. But I definitely still want to see Ouija Shark too, which I
You
hear is
haven't seen it yet?
no, I heard it's much better than the first one.
See, I still haven't watched the first one. The second one's okay. It's got some parts that were pretty funny.
Yeah, like well, the guy who directed it, John Miglior, that guy
Mhm.
he knows his way around the camera. He's good.
Yeah, the monsters were pretty cool.
Yeah, he did one called Cannibal at Killer a Creature from Cannibal Creek. That
Mm.
movie was really good, surprisingly so. I really enjoyed the shit out of that one. I'm like, this is really fun. And then when I heard about what happened with Brett Kelly, he got kicked off the second one, and then they brought John Migliore in. I was like, oh well, I guess they're taking this movie seriously, because the first movie got made for $205, but they invested some coin in the second one,
Yeah, they put
and
more money in.
yeah.
They could have used some more, even more money, but it
Well,
wasn't
you definitely know
bad.
that you.
It's not on my worst of the year.
I know some people watched it. I mean, I know Mike from Did You See That? I know he watched and reviewed it, and
Yeah,
you
I
know
got a
he,
review. Brad's got a review.
it's still out there. People still watch the Mighty Ouija Shark. And it was huge in Japan.
Yeah, I got theatrical release, right? Or no, yeah, they released the first one in theaters, right?
They released the first one in theaters. I just find that amazing to me. They actually released that in, and I'm just like that took some. How the hell do you do that? Because Japanese film goers, they're pretty damn smart. They got good eyes. They're not just
Yeah,
they're
I
not.
mean they got the same, mostly the same type of, and they still have direct-to-video stuff. It's just they still have like a renter's market, so people don't have to spend as much to watch the shovel videos.
I just can't imagine. Like I would have actually loved to been in the first Japanese theater that showed it. I would have loved to been in the back. I would have loved to been in the back to watch them react to it, just to hear them. Would they actually throw
They,
popcorn at it?
they might have
Mm,
been into it. They're having like a surge of like weird shark movies. They had Shark versus Ninja and Well Shark. I think there was a Bathhouse Shark that came out like all this year.
Bat house shark? Oh, we're
Bath
all. Oh,
Bathhouse.
oh, okay. I was gonna say if it
Yeah.
was a bat house shark, I'm all over
Dude,
that.
we gotta, I don't know, maybe you should pitch that. Bat House Shark. That'd be pretty
Oh,
cool. And they
that's right.
can't just tear down the bat house because it's federally protected.
That's right. That's right. And we got to set the movie in New Orleans in the basement of Fulci's hotel.
Dude, you might have to pitch that to Polonia. Steven's got
Um,
the hookup.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Now he's got the hookup. Al says he's down for that. Yeah. So what is your number 9 worst horror film?
That was my 9.
Oh,
I did my 9. Was that your
okay.
8th? No, I went
Okay.
first. I went first.
Yeah.
So my number 8 is The Jungle, which is a found footage movie where they go in the jungle to look at big cats. They're trying to tag some endangered big cats, but there they find a monster, and it's really boring. None of the characters are that interesting, so it's just following these people around that aren't really interesting. Um, and then at the end, you see the monster, and spoiler, it's like a Bigfoot monkey thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
I
really
thought
dragged us
you were
around
you.
along for that. He just like attacks them, and then they're dead, and then he eats the camera. Wow. Al got the whale god. I hope mine. I didn't get it today. Hopefully mine comes tomorrow. I've already seen the movie, but I liked it
Is that
enough
is
to
that
buy it
S,
on
is, the
Blu-ray.
whale guy? Is that SRS?
That's SRS. It's not It's distributed. It's made by Daiei, the people that made Gamera. They made it before Gamera, so
The, the
it still
whale
has some
guy.
quality. It's before they started going bankrupt.
Well, I mean, but you got it through SRS. I've said this before that SRS would not be alive today if it wasn't for Casey.
They
Uh,
distribute some good movies. It's just the ones they help produce are bad. It's like Wild Eye, Wild Eye puts out some good movies, The Force of the Lost Souls was good. I liked the Goldeneye movie.
I,
Going for Goldeneye. And
oh,
they have some good movies, but it's like the ones they help produce are not good, you know. I feel like
you
Al just watched parts of the jungle. He already knows it looks terrible, you know.
yeah. I watched your review of it, and you were
Yeah.
just sitting there going like you're sitting there going like, oh hell no. I'm like, okay, thank you, Casey.
Yeah, it's
Let
like,
me let
man, I
me.
hope something happens. I hope something happens.
Where's the
Nope.
final credit? I hope they roll the final credits
Yeah,
soon.
like
Where's the
like
final
you can
credit?
have a movie that nothing happens as long as the characters are fun to watch, But none of
Yeah,
these were, you
yeah.
know.
See, I make fun of this movie a lot, but I mean, but it frustrates me because it really did waste two really good performances, and that was Pyewacket. And it's like, man, I really wanted Pyewacket to be so much better than what it was because of the performances of Laurie Holden and the girl who played her daughter. They really kicked ass. They deserved to have a good movie built around their performances, and it didn't happen. It just really frustrates you. It's like, like wow, you just because to me that's the number one thing that gets me as a film goer is if they waste a good cast on some bullshit, bad special effects, bad CGI, bad story, you know, other bad acting, whatever. But when you waste a good cast on bullshit, that frustrates me because you don't know when you're ever going to get a cast like that assembled again to do a better movie. You might not. More likely, you probably won't. But man, you see some of the cast that were put together and go like, "Oh, this movie's going to be good," and then when it isn't, it's just really, really frustrating for me.
All right, what is your number 8 worst movie?
My number eight, The Amazing Bulk. Only
Number
eight.
8.
Only eight. That's right. There's seven other movies that I watched that were just like god awful, worse than the bulk. I was shocked. Honestly, I went in there looking at the bulk. I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to be making through this movie. I'm not making it through the movie.
See, I thought it
But
was gonna be better than it was. You know?
I really, I thought, I expected it just to be so bad I couldn't take it. But I had watched a couple of movies beforehand that actually made the bulk look okay. And I'm sitting there going like, okay, the bulk is really bad. It's definitely earned its reputation, but it's not as bad as some of the other movies I've seen. I've seen worse this year. And so that really, to me, really surprised the shit out of me. I'm like, okay, this is, um, but it was bad. I mean, would I ever watch it again? Hell no. But it wasn't the worst thing I've seen this year by a long shot. I mean, there's some other ones that I saw that was like, oh, I want to go back and watch the bulk so you see what a good movie looks like.
We have a
Uh,
question from Timothy. He
as
asks,
the Bat mentions that Skinamarink is his 8th worst film.
see, look, he's doing a live rundown of his top 10 worst films for you, Pat.
Says question for both of you regarding this worst of list. How do you choose these? Just random roll of the dice, or certain actors or directors? I look at stories. I look at stories first because I watch a lot of low budget films. So not having any money or low money is not necessarily it's not an excuse for making a bad movie, because I've seen a lot of movies with not very much made for very much money that are actually pretty damn good. Uh, so I look for poor story. I look for laziness. Um, I look for just really bad effects, bad acting, too familiarity. That's a problem with someone like Mark Polonia or Dustin Ferguson or whatnot. They always use the same people, and they're not very good in the first place. And so they just come on there. You just see them, and you're instantly taken out of the movie. As soon as you see them, you go like, oh, yeah. You just can't take it seriously. It's like you want to try, but it just doesn't work. It's just horrible.
Yeah,
Um,
mine is just like the ones I enjoyed watching the least. It's not based on any like production standards or anything. Normally if their production standards are low, I'm gonna enjoy the movie less. But there's some movies, like Pat said, they're low budget, they got bad effects, but they're still fun to watch. I
sure.
wouldn't necessarily put that on my worst of list. Same thing. There's some movies with like really bad acting that I would still enjoy watching. I'm down with The Room. I know a lot of people aren't, but I like The Room for what it is, anyways.
The Room. I still have not seen that. I don't know if
I
I.
say it. See, The Room is the worst movie of all time. It's not. First of all, it has a full story.
Mhm.
It has characters.
See, that's
Like,
what I don't understand. I mean, I know see that's the problem with when I watch people, and I know Al's poking fun of it, but see, I don't understand what Skinamarink is like. It has a whole story. It has a beginning, a middle, and the end. It's just something like it's just something that maybe you don't like to see, or maybe it was too dark. I mean, like when you only got human interaction for 10 minutes out of an hour and 40-minute movie. I get that. I truly do. I understand. It's like I just felt like there's nothing for me to watch. Um, which I heard from a lot of people say, I don't know what I'm watching. They're not giving me enough to actually sink into it, what they're doing. They do, they do. You just have to be patient with it. It does. But not everybody has that patience. A lot of people I know couldn't make it through the end of Skinamarink. And that's a shame, because I would sit there and say, you know, if I made it through the freaking amazing bulk, you can make it through Skinamarink.
all right. So
Um,
you have anything else to say about The Amazing Bulk?
no, that's it.
All right. So we're at my number 7, which is Cocaine Cougar. Uh,
Man, that's really low.
so this,
That's really low.
yeah.
I'm scared. I'm scared now. I'm
So
scared.
for exploiting the cocaine bear craze, which that movie wasn't even that great to begin with, that just learning about the real life story was more interesting than watching Cocaine Bear. But even a few more steps down, we have Cocaine Cougar. It's a really badly animated, and I guess the model was pretty bad too for the Cocaine Cougar. I got into some cocaine. It started killing people every now and then. The movie was only what was it, 40 minutes?
40, yeah, 40 minutes.
With very long intro and opening and end credits, and
Yeah.
there
He
was a
basically
lot
used
of
to say,
stock footage. A lot of stock footage. I don't,
well,
was there a story? There was a
no,
story of how he got into the cocaine, but no, it
well,
like cuts off. It's like it cut off so there'd be like a sequel to end the story, which I don't think we'll get.
the
So
thing
that
is,
makes it even worse. If you're gonna have a 40-minute thing, You might as well have a self-contained story, you know?
Oh, he couldn't even do that. He couldn't even do that. The thing about it is like he used the same Cougar too, the same Cougar drawing for that he used for Blood Claws.
Yeah, I didn't see that one.
That one almost made it back. That almost made it back to my top 10. It was so bad I had to list it twice. Uh, let's see. Al says he appreciates Skinamarink for being different, but he just didn't do it for me. And this is coming from a guy who watched David Heavener movies. That's what's amazing to me. He endured watching David Heavener movies, and he says that
I don't know. Al says The Room is hilarious, so I'm gonna trust his judgment.
let's see. It was about 80 minutes from too long.
I think Al's saying that it probably would have been better as like one part in an anthology.
Oh, for Skinamarink?
I think so.
You know, yeah.
Come on, Cocaine Cougar is not going to be any better if it was part of
cocaine,
an anthology.
Cocaine Cougar is not going to be. It's not worse than Skinamarink.
They would have to they just have to remake the movie ground up with a whole different crew, and it might be good. You know, it's a decent concept. You can do something with the concept, but
let's see. David Heavener is a legend. Hell yeah, he is. Shit. Hell yeah, he is. So what are we up to?
That was my 7. So you're at your 7.
Okay, my 7th is gonna be The Flash. Oh man,
the DC movie.
Yeah, the DC movie.
I still haven't watched it. I watched like the first 20 minutes, and then
you watched it. That's all you need. You're good. You're good.
I want to watch it eventually. Even just for the little Easter eggs that I know are going to be in there. I'll watch it for this.
I mean, it was painful to watch. You felt sorry for Michael Keaton. You felt sorry for.
I want to see Michael Keaton and the big robot spider from Superman. Whatever the Nick Cage Super. I want to see Nick Cage Superman.
Right. Oh, the one that
the guy that did Wild West was
right. John Peters. John Peters told Kevin Smith, told Kevin Smith, I want a spider at the end of the movie. That was absolutely painful to watch. I just couldn't, I just really wish that they had actually stopped it, went back, took Ezra Miller out of it, and put Grant Gustin in it.
I mean, I think that just like shelved that movie and released Batgirl and what was it? Wile E. Coyote versus Acme or whatever.
The thing is, so it's like they're talking about how they're saying how Aquaman 2 is coming out to a really poor box office, $40 million, and which is worse than even Captain Marvel or the Marvels. And it's like, well, of course it's going to come out. It's DOA. Once James Gunn said that these movies are not part of his DCU, they were dead in the water. Nobody was going to watch them. So of course they were dead. Shazam dead. Black Adam dead.
Wait, was Shazam even part of that? I thought Shazam was his own thing.
Shazam was going to be Shazam was going to be they cut that they eliminated Wonder Woman. So Gal Gadot not going to be Wonder Woman. They went ahead and they got rid of the only thing they kept was Blue Beetle, and they kept the Batman. And going forward, those are the only two characters that James Gunn is going to keep moving forward. So Black Adam's not coming back. Shazam's not coming back. Justice League's not coming back. None of these guys, and the movies that were coming out. Why go see them when there's nothing going to happen for it? It's like it doesn't make any sense. It's like
it doesn't.
You go to these movies for the world.
Movie, there's standalone movies that are fine. It doesn't have to be this bigger universe thing,
Yeah, but people want to see world builder. They want to see world building. They want to see.
Those people do. they kind of like.
But the average fan does not.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that got sucked into this connected universe thing, but then it got even they're done with it because there's too much stuff to keep up with this world. These worlds. DC is not as bad, but yeah, most people that were really into the Marvel movies just gave up because they couldn't keep up with all the
Mhm.
content.
Yeah, it was just a car crash, and of course it didn't help. It didn't help that when these people were sitting there going, bring back Zack Snyder, bring back people really wanted him to come out there and come back and they wanted him to come back and run the DC movies. And I mean, it's like, yeah, come back. And then we come back, we see what Zack Snyder's done, and he just took his wannabe Star Wars movie and
What movie is that?
Rebel Moon.
Oh yeah, people are hating on that.
Oh, they're saying it's
I hated the Army of the Dead that he did. I don't know. I was
they just they absolutely hated it. They said it was just so shallow, so derivative, nothing
that.
original. Just
I mean, I don't know. He's had some, but most of it. Who wrote it? Did he help
I
write
think
it too?
I think maybe he might have wrote it.
Oh, well, so that's his problem.
I mean, you got all this money from Netflix, and the thing is, though, they're stuck with it. They're stuck with it. They got
They
the
can
first
lose
two.
some money. They'll be okay
Sure,
for now. For
they'll
now.
charge you another $5 a month or to
Yeah.
finance it. Um, but yeah, no, I don't know what happened to Zack Snyder. All I know is that the movies that DC were making, that's why we're not seeing Jason Momoa out there. You notice none of the people from Aquaman 2 were actually out there promoting it. What's the point? Why are you having me come out? I'm not going to come out here and waste my time
I
in
mean,
front of this
they
movie.
probably would still get some royalties for
Well, that's what they're
whatever
getting.
happens.
They're getting, but the thing is, though, the studio is telling you, we don't believe in you. We don't believe in the movie that you made. Okay, you don't believe me. You don't believe in what we did. Fine. I'm not going to be here telling you any different. I'm going to go on and do something else.
I'm
I wouldn't
surprised
make.
there's
I wouldn't
not
make
like
this.
stuff in their contract saying they had to promote it. Unless they had a longer contract and then Warner Brothers cut it short, that could be a possibility.
It could be, but it's sort
Probably
of
got
hard to
paid
sit
out
there.
so they wouldn't have to do anything.
It's sort of hard to go out there and tell somebody to go out. You got to go out there and promote this movie when, in fact, the studio itself is not out there promoting the movie. It allowed James Gunn to come in
Hey,
there and say, "Yeah, this is the last Aquaman we're doing with this cast here. We're not. No one here is moving forward."
I've seen a little bit of Aquaman ads, so they probably already had like a small percentage of money put away just to push ads, like normal
You
ads,
know, it's funny. It's funny. It's like in a movie like that, though, Casey, you wouldn't need to do that. An Aquaman, you wouldn't need to go out there and spend much money on because the character is so well known.
It's
But
just
but now
not just that genre, but like blockbuster movies are just oversaturated, and then the average person is in a recession. I know the whole country is not, but the average person is more poor than they were 5 years ago.
no, I agree with
So
that.
they're not going to spend their money on every blockbuster. Okay, most
No,
people,
well,
anyways,
I
the
just the
fiscally
reason why
responsible ones.
yeah, but I think that's the reason why though they didn't spend the money on this one though is because they knew it was a DOA series. There's no point going to watch it. There's really no point because you're not going to see it. We're not going to see Aquaman 3. We're not going to see another Wonder Woman. We're not going to see another Ben Affleck Batman. We're not going to see any more Shazams or Black Adams. I mean, that's it. All right. So I mean but the Flash itself was just awful. The special effects were awful. The acting was awful. Felt bad for Michael Keaton. He got lopped into that. Michael Shannon got lopped into that. I thought Sasha Callie was really good. She'll be a big star. She has a great future.
Like
Um,
Supergirl or whatever.
I really liked her Supergirl. I liked what they did when they showed the different Supermen. The Superman. I thought that was really nice. It's a real nice gesture. I thought that was really cool. It did send some, it did send the one emotional moment you had was when they showed Christopher Reeve and Helen Slater standing next to him as Superman and Supergirl.
See,
That felt
you're saying the best thing about the movie is like a multiverse thing,
yeah when they
which
would
is something people are also like fatigued with at this point. You
mhm.
know? So.
But otherwise, the effects were god awful. The story was god awful. It was just not very good at all. I just hated all. I just hated it. I didn't like
Very
Ezra
long
Miller at
too.
all. Ezra Miller was terrible. Just no. I just no.
Hey, he already knows he doesn't have to act well to keep his job. He's done all the other shitty things and kept his job.
All right, so that is my 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my sixth one. That's my sixth one.
All right, so no, I think that was your number 7, right?
Number 7. Let's see. I'll tell you.
That was your number 7.
Let me cross this off so I don't.
Was that your 7 or 6?
See, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4.
Yeah, no, that's 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so my number 6 is Blood Corrodes Inside Spit. Let me find the my letterbox.
Is that SRS?
I'll just read that to you. It's not let me look who put that out on physical.
That's screaming SRS. Timothy says that he says his boys watch the Marvel universe for me. As too much going on the screen all the time. I have a hard time keeping up with what's happening. Yeah.
It's I think it's Unearthed. Unearthed Films, yeah. They put it out.
Oh, okay. Okay. But it was god awful, huh?
Yeah. Okay, so where is it? Here it is. Blood Corrodes Inside Spit. I'm just gonna read this off because I don't really remember that much. It says it visually looks better than a lot of indie movies around. It's about a book that makes girls fantasize about being covered in blood and vomiting, masturbating, peeing, gagging. That's basically all I got from it.
So
The
basically,
girl.
this is a movie that Wes will be watching.
so I'll get to that.
This is a movie that Wes will be buying.
It says the girls look all right and act all right, and some of the lingerie look nice as well. But I feel like if you just want to look at girls, you can find better places to do so. So this was on. This was one of. This is part of a trilogy. Wes watched it. He did a watch along for one of his days of Halloween. I was see. It was better watching it with Wes though than by by myself because I would have turned it off.
Okay. Oh, you watched it. Oh, you did watch it with Wes. Well, that's
Yeah.
great. That whole title screen Wes. Autobots roll out. That's yeah. I was gonna say Unearthed. I'm going like that sounds like something that Wes would watch, and I was thinking I never heard anybody complain about a bad movie on Earth yet. So when you mentioned that, I was like, man, that sounds
Yeah,
like
I mean, I'm sure it has its audience, not
yeah,
me.
yeah,
It's kind of like I guess Underground.
right.
Yeah, not for me, but it didn't make my top 10 worst movies of this year, so it's got that going for it.
Well, my next one is going to be one we already talked about. We don't have to spend a lot of time on it because we already know about it, and that is Cocaine Cougar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was bloody awful. Dog shit, cougar shit, whatever shit you may want it to be. That's what it was. Just god awful. Dustin Ferguson should never be allowed on a movie set ever again. Ever again. To quote Chris Jericho. Yeah, we already talked about it. It was just dog meat. I have nothing more to say about it. It's just a horrible movie.
All right,
I'm never getting that 43 minutes back.
okay, so my number 5. It's another. It's Blood Corrodes Inside Sea of Blood.
A sequel. Oh, yeah.
Again, I'm just gonna read my little letterbox. It says the trilogy is complete. I mean, this installment is still mostly just naked girls covered in blood. It goes on too long, but this time at least they do get innovative. A hand is cut off and then inserted somewhere. There's also a disembowelment. Not sure if spit was actually the best or if it merely seems that way because it made us desensitized to the two that came after. That's it. Yeah. That's
I
again.
don't,
This
I don't,
this
I
all
don't,
takes
I don't,
place. This
I know.
either all or mostly takes place in a shower. So
The whole movie takes place in a
I
shower.
don't. I don't remember if this one does take all place in the shower. There's like some stuff not in the shower, but most of these things just take place in
I
shower.
was gonna say, I
One
hope they have one
singular
of those tank.
shower.
I hope they have one of those tankless showers, with hot water for the whole shoot.
Oh well.
All right. My next one will be the other movie of cocaine, and that would be Cocaine Shark.
Oh, I forgot
Um,
about Cocaine Shark. I was like, how are you gonna put Cocaine Bear worse than Cocaine Cougar? So yeah, I
um,
didn't watch Cocaine Shark. Tell us about it.
so Cocaine Shark made one major mistake to me, and that was they didn't put any humor at all in it. There's no humor at all.
Who made that
Ma-
movie?
Mark Polonia.
Oh my goodness, he does it
Yeah,
again.
no Tim Hatch in this movie. No James Corollas, who are the two actors that do a lot of the comic relief in his movies. Neither one or were in the movie. It was just god awful. They killed Kyle Rappaport 3 times. He had 3 deaths in the movie. But that was really what really hurt the movie was the fact that it wasn't funny at all. There's no humor at all. They played it straight, and it was just like you can't play a movie like this straight. It's just it's terrible. It's a terrible decision to do. It, I guess initially the movie was supposed to be called Narco Shark, but then they had the thing with a cocaine bear, and so Poloni went back there and they retitled it Cocaine
Oh,
Shark.
and they went for the mockbuster, huh?
And it's just it would have been fine if they would have like in Amityville in Space. I mean, is Amityville in Space a good movie? Hell no. But it did have one redeeming feature as far as I was concerned and it had Tim Hatch, and he's funny as hell. And I can tell you right now, Amityville in Space did not make my bottom 10. I thought Tim Hatch did enough to elevate it past out of the bottom 10. It might be number 11. I don't know, but it's not in the bottom 10 because there was some humor in the movie. Poloni wasn't taking himself seriously, and so that really does help the movie a lot in my opinion. But Cocaine Shark was absolutely no, it was god awful.
Did you ever get around to watching Amityville Karen?
No, I have not seen that yet. Is that on Tubi?
It probably is by now. But the best part of that movie is where Tim gets his dick ripped off. So that's the best part of the movie.
Oh my god. Okay, I have to see that. And they probably played it for laughs, which
Yeah,
means
it's not like graphic or anything, but yeah, he's just funny.
yeah. Tim has he's a funny guy. I mean, on camera, he's a really good. He has a really good comedic sense of timing. I mean, he's entertaining when he's on camera. He looks like he's having a lot of fun, and that really can elevate a movie. It's not the best. Me and Eric from Hey Internet, it's Eric. We were talking about Mickey Rourke, and he had covered the wrestler. And I said, I don't know I don't know which role I liked him better in, the wrestler or Sin City. Both movies, were pretty good. And he says, well, yeah, his comeback didn't last very long. And I told Eric, I said, well, I sort of see Mickey Rourke as sort of sliding into the Eric Roberts role, and that is he does a lot of those movies. He does a lot of these independent movies, and he's an elevator. He makes the movie better than it should have any right being. When Eric Robert walks onto a set,
No,
Your
he's
movie's
not in
gonna
the
get your
sets anymore.
your movie's gonna get a boost because
He
Eric Roberts is gonna act his ass off.
Yeah,
You know,
sometimes he makes them better, but there's a lot of movies where he's just like somewhere else, like on video, and they just kind of put him in, and it doesn't make any sense.
yeah, there's some that do that. There was one guy who did it. He did that. Eric shot his scene in America, but he put it over in Czechoslovakia, I think it was. But his role in that movie was so damn good. It was so good. It was like he was reading a letter to his son, who he feared was going to kill himself. It was really good. It had no place being in a movie like that. It was so good. And I see with Mickey Rourke, I see him do a lot of these movies. Like I watched him in Nightmare Cinema. He was really good as a projectionist. I was like, hell yeah, bring him back. It was cool. He was cool in that. And then he played the devil twice, and when in the Tombstone movies, Dead and Tombstone and Return to Tombstone, he played the devil. He sort of channeled his Peter Fonda, but he was really good at it. He was like, he didn't coast on it. He gave some effort into it, and it helped the movie out. It made a movie worth interest. It made it worth watching. But yeah, I mean, I don't think Mickey Rourke is ever going to get back to the A list. I don't see that happening for him. But if he does what Eric Robert did was like, okay, I'm not going to be the first. I'm not going to be the name over the poster anymore, but I can still go in there and crush my role the best I can, and hopefully people who are watching me, hopefully they'll bring their game up too, which we see a lot in
He
there.
can be the name. Eric Roberts gets his name on the poster, even if he
Sure.
has a minimal part. Same thing with Danny Trejo.
Yeah.
They'll
And
do a
Danny
little
Trejo,
part, and they'll
yeah,
still put him up there.
yeah, and
Sometimes
Danny
he's the best part of the
Trejo,
movie.
yeah,
Two-headed shark
exactly.
attack. He's great in it. He's only there at the end.
I was gonna say exactly. I mean, Danny Trejo he's still kicking ass. He's still kicking ass. Um, okay, so I put Cocaine Shark as mine, so I guess now it'll be yours.
All right,
I
so my fourth worst movie. This is the last one of these I have on my list. It is Blood Corrodes Inside, Red Tragedy. So this is like a trilogy,
how,
and this is the second one.
how did you end up watching all three of them after the first
This is
one?
what Wes had. They're like not very long, which I mean, thank goodness, because there's barely any story, if any. There is a story, but it's like, is that what they want? It's kind of confusing, but
How many minutes per episode were these movies?
let's see if it says. Let me look at this one. This one says it's 20 minutes, so
Oh, that's a Dustin Ferguson movie.
yeah, and I guess there's three of them put together. All right, so it says this seems to have less story than the first. I liked the
No.
spit. I liked spit better, but this one is mainly more of the same. Naked girls covered in blood. This time with toy penetration.
Is this Ja-
Catching these in a watch along, which I did
is this
not pick the
Japanese?
titles.
Is this Japanese?
No,
Is it a foreign film or is it
no, I
American?
don't think so. I think it's American.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the,
my
ti- the title sound totally Japanese.
that's yeah. I mean the subject matter too. But yeah, that was my 6, 5, and 4. The Blood Corrodes Inside trilogy, which is mainly just girls and bleeding in a shower.
My next one here will be and this one I was a little bummed out on, but I I hated doing putting this on here, but I had to because it was just god awful, and that was Smart House. Uh, I didn't want to put that movie. I was looking forward to that. It was written by uh, God, what's his name? I know. I've had him on the show a couple of times. Um, John John Oak Dalton. So I've had him on the show a couple of times. I really enjoyed the girl in the girl in the crawl space. I really enjoyed that. Um, Smart House was everything good about the girl in the crawl space was opposite of Smart House. Smart House was just terrible. It was illogical. The story didn't make any sense. The actress who was the producer's wife, she was god awful. She was god awful. She was just absolutely terrible. Uh, uh, yes, yeah, Mickey Rourke was great in The Wrestler. He really was. But that was like the last between that and Sin City. It was like two of the last major roles that he did that were, big in big budget movies. I mean, big movies. Not that Sin City was big budgeted, but he came back with Sin City, a Dame to Kill for. But that's been about it for him as far as leading have his name over the title. Um, but yeah, Smart House was just it was illogical. It didn't make any sense at all. I felt really, really bad for John F. Dalton. His producer definitely put his fingers into the pie where he should have kept them out. Um, for the second movie in a row, the movie was well, in this case it worked well for it. It was only 72 minutes long. Maybe he would have had another 15 minutes. Maybe he could have salvaged it. I don't think so. I think that movie was just not that. It just wasn't made that well. It wasn't for the story. It wasn't because of the story, because the story itself was pretty entertaining. And believe it or not, in an acting role, this guy did pretty decently well, and that was actually Mark Polonia. He didn't direct it, he didn't produce it, but he acted in it, and he was actually okay. He was actually, I dare say, he was probably the best part about the movie. His character was actually the best part about the movie, but
So,
that's not really saying that's faint. That's a faint praise
so
because
you're saying he should quit his day job,
no,
pursue
no.
acting.
I mean, he's just he did some acting and Cocaine Shark too, and it's just like don't give up your day job is right. But it was
Oh,
really
okay.
frustrating because John Oak Dalton's a good screenwriter, and he knows his way around the set. But like I said, I really enjoyed the girl under the crawl space. I really enjoyed that movie, but as much as I liked that movie, I did not like this one, and I was so disappointed in it because it wasn't very good. And I know that John Oak Dalton is capable of making much better films with much better people. And that's all I got for a smart house. Not so
All
smart.
right. So my number 3 is uh, Ape versus what is it? Ape versus Mecha Ape. So this is the sequel to Ape versus Monster, which was fairly good for a Asylum movie. But
Was
this
that
one
Asylum or was that SRS?
is Asylum. This is the
Oh,
sequel, and it has worse CG.
so
And no, it has better. Sorry,
oh,
this thing says my little letterbox review says CG is usually better than its predecessor, but entertainment-wise, this is a huge step down from Ape
who
versus
did that?
Monster and a even bigger step down from 2025 Armageddon. So
Was that Brett Kelly or Dustin Ferguson?
no, I don't think they get these movies. It's Mark Gottlieb, who this is his only movie. Oh,
I have
jeez.
a, I have a feeling it's Brett
Whew.
Kelly.
You think that's a pseudonym?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Asylum gave him a chance and he blew it.
I always tell people like I've heard people say, "Where does Asylum get their actors?" And I always say, what they do is they just open the doors up for auditions, and then they count the first 10 or 12 to 15 people that walk through the door, and say, "Okay, you're hired. That's it. Go home."
They have Eric Roberts in a lot of them.
Yeah, they had
Asylum too.
Tom Arnold's in. Isn't Tom
Yeah,
Arnold in this
Tom
one?
Arnold's in this one.
Then they have Tom Sizemore, and they put him in a solo room. They can't even trust him to act against anybody. Got a pipe.
Hey man, at least it's not just like voiceovers. Like what's his name? Fucking doing the Ginger Dead Man.
Oh, Gary Busey, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he can't be trusted around people.
Let's see. Timothy says that Speaking of Danny Trejo, have either of you seen Recoil with him and Stone Cold Steve Austin? Hell yeah, that was a badass movie.
I haven't seen. Is it recent?
No, from a few years ago, but
Okay.
it's badass.
I haven't
It's cool.
seen Steve Austin in
He retired.
anything.
He
I mean, he
retired.
deserves it, but yeah, they always come back.
No, I mean, no, he
Especially in
retired.
like WWE, they always come back.
No, he retired from from making movies. He said that basically he was just playing the same part over and over and over, and he didn't really want to do that, and that's
I
all they
mean,
kept
I
on
get it,
doing.
but that's what he can do.
But he was
He's got
actually
he's
right.
got some comedy chops.
He
Especially
does.
like voiceover. He was really good on Celebrity Deathmatch.
I really wish that they would give him a chance. Really give him a chance to do something, a little different.
It's just like
But
the main draw of people, like he's in a movie. If you're gonna choose him over someone, it's because of his name and just I don't know if the general audiences know who he is anymore.
yeah, I watched it. I actually reviewed that movie. I actually reviewed Recoil. I liked it. I thought it was fun. It's a little bit. It says a lot about Danny Trejo that he's still mashed up. In the final fight because Steve Austin's like, he's like 25 years younger than Danny Trejo. Danny Trejo's pushing 80. He hasn't been a spring chicken in quite a while, but he still has that intimidation factor. He still looks, he still keeps himself in great shape for his age. So on screen it looks like he's a threat, but you look at him face to face, you think about it and go like, man, Steve Austin's like 25 years younger than this guy is, and it, you know, but yeah, Steve Austin, unfortunately, I wish he'd come back, but yeah, he retired from making movies. All right, we're down to our last three for me. My last three. My number three worst movie of the year. And I got this one from Hobbs. And I know he didn't know any. He actually liked this movie too. That's the thing. He liked this movie. I watched it. I did not. And that was The Haunting of Hythe House, another English horror movie. Yeah, wow. I got to be honest with you. I did not make it through. I did not make it through this movie. I made it through the other two, the two worst I got, but I could not make it through this one. This was
Maybe
just
it's like Skinamarink. Maybe the ending really pulls it all together.
no. The only thing this thing was pulling together was pulling my ass to the bathroom so I could take a shit. That was all that was doing. This movie, it looked like it was a guerrilla shoot. They drove around till they found an abandoned house. Then they all jumped out of there and ran in there with their phones, their cell phones, and try to make a movie based on that. Uh, no setup shots,
Is it
no,
found footage?
yeah, found footage,
Ugh.
a little bit of torture porn in it. It was just god awful. It made no sense at all. The sound kept on going up and down in the movie too. Like one room you hear this guy talk, the next room you're like what? Like it just wasn't very good at all. I just hated it, and I couldn't make it through. I was like, no, can't do this one. So, but it was only my third worst movie of the year. There's two other movies that are worse than this movie. Hard to believe. I think Al is like he's redoing his bottom five.
Alright, so my second worst movie I watched this year was The Amazing Bulk. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be better than what it was, man. I already knew it was gonna have terrible CG and like sequences with random other CG assets thrown in it. I guess just because they bought them, but that was so boring. There's
You
no
know, that's the
like
key
it
right there.
could have been fun. It could have been fun.
Yeah,
The Amazing Bulk himself looks pretty funny.
that's a crime right there. You're absolutely right. That's what made it so bad. It's like you
I
should have
I could
been
have made
fun.
that movie better.
Yeah,
If they gave me those assets, if they just gave me the assets and all the stuff, I could have probably made something entertainment
I
out of
absolutely
it.
agree with you. I agree with you. I think that's what really hurts the movie It's the fact that they're not funny. That's the whole point. A movie like the Amazing Bulk needs to be freaking funny. It needs to do fart jokes. It needs to do, like
It's something,
mom jokes or something like that. It needs to be funny. And
Yeah,
it's the
the
biggest.
pacing was way too slow for that trash too. Like, come on.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was just like, wow. I just wish it had been a little bit more snappier. I watched another movie sort of similar to this with the same kind of background. It was called Bitch Slap,
Bitch
and
Slap's great. I love Bitch
yeah,
Slap.
it had the same sort of idea as the Amazing Bulk, with all the green screen, but it was funny as hell. The girls were really cute. I
Yeah,
mean,
they
it
had a scene.
worked.
They were in a parking garage. There's a
Yeah,
random Mach 5 in the background. But
it,
it's fun there. You know?
it absolutely had a great cast. They seem to be having a lot of fun, and then you get the Amazing Bulk, and it was just like, wow, this is just really sucks. Yeah, that's the biggest thing to me is it's the same thing with, like, the killed cocaine shark, and that is absolutely no humor in it. Movie like that has to be funny. You have to be able to laugh at it.
I there's no way they thought they were gonna make a serious movie, you know? I don't know why they didn't double down on it.
You know what? I would have loved to have been in negotiations when Rob bought that movie from him. I wonder what he gave him. Did he give him like a ham sandwich or something
I
like
don't
that?
know, like on uh online articles, it's like, yeah, Amazing Bulk was out of print on its original distributor, and due to demand,
Yeah,
Wildeye released it.
that's probably SRS, and they only made 25 copies.
I don't know who put it out before.
Because SRS, that's what they do. They put a movie like that, they'll put out 25 copies, and then they can sit there and say it's out of print. It came out.
I don't know if they always have done that, because they used to, when they were doing VHSs and like DVDs, people still liked them and they were going by Subrosa Studios. I think the limited edition Blu-ray and VHS thing is their new scheme. I don't think that they've always been doing that.
Mm. Oh, all right. We're almost done with the bad stuff. Then we'll get back to the good stuff. My number two movie to watch that was absolutely god awful, The Neon Demon
Is
with Dick.
that IFC Midnight?
No, that's actually it was not ISC Midnight. It was Nicholas Winding Refn, who did a movie called Drive. Um, oh,
Drive with
Ryan
Mark
Gosling.
Dacascos?
No.
Oh,
Drive had Ryan Gosling and Ron Perlman and Casey Mulligan. Um, the Neon Demon. I think it came out on Broad Street, or Bleecker, one of those two. It is god awful. Now, before I was telling you, Timothy asked me, like, what are some of my criteria about what makes a bad movie, and I mentioned about the cast, wasting a cast. This is the Neon Demon's biggest sin. It wastes an absolutely terrific cast for a shit ass movie. Movie is garbage. Uh, it's not rhetorical. It's not even a. It's not even. It's just god awful. Waste of talent. Um, just just supposed to be about the modeling industry, and they're saying, well, this is the best movie that shows what the modeling industry is like. Well, I truly don't understand what Ren is doing. I don't think he knows. That's why we're all confused. Um, he just makes some really poor choices. It's just he wastes his cast. Not the first time I've seen him do it. Every movie I've seen of his, I got one movie of his left that is an IFC movie. It's Valhalla, uh, 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 and that is with Mads Mikkelsen. But this movie here, it's just. I mean, you look at the cast on it: Keanu Reeves, Christina Hendricks, Dakota Fanning. Um, he just amazing cast. Jenna Malone, one of my favorites. That's what really got me angry is watching her That he totally wasted her, and then he did something that I don't know what the fuck's going on with this. Um, Pissed me off because this is the second time I've seen this in a mainstream movie, and it's very, very unwelcomed. I don't think there's any place for it at all. And in this movie, it shows the scene of necrophilia, which we don't need to see that.
Don't you own?
It's absolutely zero. There's absolutely zero redemption. There's nothing there to justify an act of necrophilia. There's nothing there that's going to move a story. I need to put that in there. You're just doing that because you're just trying for the cheap heat. That's what you're trying to do.
Don't you have necromantic too?
Well, you're talking like with mainstream actors. Like, yeah, if you want to do a movie with necrophilia, and it's an independent movie like the three ones you were talking about, I get that. I could get that, or a Serbian film or something like that. I get that.
I get it. You're like, why did they make these people with careers do it?
Right. Why would you turn around and put Jenna Malone? Why would you sit there and ask her to do a scene of necrophilia in your movie? I mean, why? It's like what are you trying? I mean, what? What are you trying to do? What's the point of it? There's no point in it. You know, it's like when we talked to Joe Lujan from the movie Rust, and he put a sexual assault scene in this movie, and it was just like, why did you need to do that? You already had written your character, your killer. You had already established him so well. You didn't need that in there. It was overkill. It was just like, you don't need that. You've already your skill has already established that. We know that he's a bad guy. We know what he is. We don't need to see that. I want to get it over. I want to put him over. You don't need to put everything over like that. And with Ren, I mean, that's typical. He did the same thing in Drive. He showed his character. Not only did his character kill somebody, attacked him in the elevator, but here he is. He's got the main girl in the movie, Carey Mulligan, and then he has Ryan Gosling literally kick this guy to pieces. Not kill him, but pieces. And you're sitting there going like, wow. And you really expect that girl to come out of that elevator after watching that and just go with him? I mean, that's ridiculous. If I saw somebody literally kick somebody pieces in the elevator, I could not get out of that elevator fast enough and run my ass away from somebody. I don't want to be around that person at all. I don't care if they just saved my life or not. I don't want to be around somebody like that would be willing to do that. So no, I think Ren is just such a master of the overkill, and his movies just I just think he's so fucking overrated. I think he's so overrated. But the Neon Demon was my second worst movie I saw this year. Oh, Ben Grimm says that Winnie the Pooh is in the top 10. I did not see that, Ben.
I didn't see it either.
But I have been seeing a lot of people put it in that top 10, though.
I gave the mean one a shot, and I didn't really like it, but it's not on my top 10 worst movie list. But I don't know. Eventually, I'll get around to watching Blood and Honey, I'm sure. Some people like it. Some people hate it. I think most people hate it, but some people like it.
I think where they blew the Winnie the Pooh. The one thing I read over and over and over, and it's going to sound so funny. It's going to sound so funny. You're going to think about it. And go like, yeah, why didn't they do that? But the one thing I heard that really sank the Winnie the Pooh movie was they didn't put his hands up.
No, I heard that. Yeah, they're like, yeah, it's clearly guys in masks, even though I guess in the story they're not supposed to be people in masks. They're supposed to be.
No, it's supposed to be a bear. He's a bear. It's like, why couldn't you just put bear mitts over his hands? Like doing that. It would have made, instead of you see him with like a human. It's like, oh, okay.
Maybe if it makes enough money, they'll do like Star Wars and have a special edition where they digitally put bear paws on everybody.
Yeah. All right, what is your number one?
My number one movie. I just watched it. It's Bigfoot versus Krampus. Also, so in the movie it says Bigfoot Bigfoot versus Krampus in like the opening titles, but on the cover it says Krampus versus Bigfoot. So that's already like
They couldn't
there's
even
no
get the
quality
name right.
control. I thought it was just god awful. We follow these two space marine type people, and they don't even do anything in the movie. Bigfoot does not fight Krampus in any capacity. I didn't realize this was part of a series. It has other such probably also terrible entries as Bigfoot
Destroy.
versus Megalodon, Bigfoot versus the Illuminati, and Trump versus the Illuminati. So the Illuminati are in space. Atlanteans are in space somehow too. I don't know. It's a lot of like just CG characters, and the dialogue doesn't match the animation, and the dialogue sucks.
I don't know
And
how do these movies even get made?
I
Who
don't know.
buys
I
them?
mean,
Who
I
buys these
get people
movies?
making them, but I don't know about getting
Buy 'em.
distribution. Like, I don't know
Yeah,
who's putting these out on disc.
I can't either. I mean, not unless they're putting them out on disc and going to different raves or parties and shit and just handing them out for free. I could not imagine anybody trying to buy anything. All right. My
What's your
number
worst
one,
movie?
my worst one of the year is a movie called The Wendigo.
Wendigo.
And I I think I would watch. I think I would watch all 18 or 19 of our bad movies. I think I would watch them all again on a loop.
I don't know,
That
dude. You said you didn't even make it through your number 3.
I think I would actually make it through that one for instead of watching the Wendigo. The Wendigo is just god awful. I mean, it is a horrible, horrible, horrible mess. It is the most unpleasant movie I watched this year. It was the worst movie I saw this year. It was like 75. It was like he out Dustin Ferguson. It's the movie's only 68 minutes long. Um, Literally nothing happens in the movie until the 47th minute. It's like I think the movie's like the movie's like 61 minutes long, 63. Nothing happens till the 47th minute. Nothing. One guy actually looks like he's genuinely angry. He's not acting. He's genuinely angry at doing his scenes, and it really comes across as that. It's like he's not acting. He's like he's seriously mad. He's not. He's not acting, and it's really uncomfortable to watch. Watch the people in the movie himself. You know, they're sort of like he's subconsciously moving away from him because he's sitting out there. He's supposed to be angry. Well, he really is angry. It's just really horrible to watch. Um, I it was just terrible, absolutely terrible. I felt bad for the makeup people on the movie who I know. I actually watched this movie because I know they had worked on it. I was shocked. I was shocked. I even asked them. I says, "So, what was it like shooting the? What was it like shooting the film?" And they said they're very diplomatic. They said it was different, and we left it at that. But this is the most unpleasant thing I've seen in a very, very, very long time. Horrible, horrible movie. Waste of time. Waste of I wouldn't say waste of talent because there was none, other than the makeup people. That's the only thing that shined in it was the makeup, and they only had like 2 or 3 scenes where that happened. Otherwise, that it was just god awful. I'm sure your number one's going to be worse.
I already said my number 1. It was
Oh,
Bigfoot
okay.
versus Krampus.
Okay. I'm sure the Wendigo would I think he probably kicked Krampus and Santa Claus's butt, Bigfoot's butt. All right, so we're gonna get out of these bad movies. We're gonna get out of that. We're gonna go really fast. We're gonna go through our top 10, our favorite movies. Back to the good stuff. Back to Skinamarink, right? At the
I
bat.
don't think I have it on my list.
Okay. Um, who do you got for your number 10?
I have Nope. Did you watch Nope?
No, but I heard it. I do have a copy of it, and I heard nothing but good things about it.
I didn't watch it when
Um,
it came out. I kind of waited to watch it, but it was really good. It was really good.
I hear it's very science fiction heavy.
Yeah, it's science fiction. It's got a lot of cool shots too.
I know he's got a new movie coming out toward the end of 2024. He seems to be on a truly. He seems to be on a. He's just a hit
Yeah,
maker.
he's in a bubble right now. We'll see when it pops. It always does. But we'll see how long he can run with it.
So far, he's doing really well. I mean, every movie that he's come out with,
Yeah,
us,
all of
Nope,
them have
Us,
done good.
yeah.
After Get Out, they've all been hits. I don't remember if he directed Keanu or if he just starred in it, but
He,
that
I
one
think
was not
I think he
very good.
produced it. I think he produced it and direct and produced it and starred in it.
Okay,
That's a funny ass. That was a funny ass movie though.
I didn't.
Um,
I
did
wasn't
you ever
really
watch?
into it.
Did you ever watch the comedy show though? Did you ever watch the
Key and
comedy?
Peele. I
Yeah,
watched Key and Peele. That they have some really really good sketches, and then I watched them
really.
on Mad TV also.
They have some really good sketches on there, and you could definitely see that there's it's just some of those sketches were heavy.
Yeah, I haven't watched his. He brought back Twilight Zone. I haven't watched any of that.
I got the first season of that. I have not watched any of that yet, but I did get the first season. I know it ran for 2 years before they canceled it. I'm not sure if because of availability or what
I'm
have
not
you.
sure how involved he was in that though. So
Yeah,
he
I think
might have just like produced it and then had like different directors for each episode.
I know they had a lot of comics in there too, and that's okay. But if you're gonna do a Twilight Zone, you can't have comedy. You can't have comic guys.
I mean, you can have comics doing like more serious roles. Mandalorian has a lot of comics, and most of them, except for like that girl from I don't even remember what it is. Strangers with Candy. Everyone except for her plays plays it straight, and they do pretty good.
Well, I know who you're talking about. That girl's weird.
Yeah, she's weird. Yeah, she's weird in there too. She's comedic in that, but all the rest of them play it pretty straight.
Um, well, my number 10 movie I put this year as far as my top 20, I put another science fiction movie of my own up there, and that was Space Wars, The
Oh
Quest for
yeah,
the
you're
Deep
telling me
Star.
about that.
Wow, so much fun. What a blast from the past. That had such a Star Wars vibe to it. Also has some kaiju in it. The cast was having some great fun. Um, the villains, they were villainous. there, there's no anti-heroes in this movie. What you see is what you got. The movie is really well cast. It had all the actors had a lot of fun in it. Um, I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. I thought that Garo Setien and his wife Anahit Setien did such a nice job with this movie. Action packed, good effects, great cast, good writing. It was everything you wanted to see in a science fiction movie, but we don't really don't get anymore. And I thought Space Wars definitely deserves a sequel. And I hope it gets it.
Who put that out?
I want to say ITN did.
Okay, so maybe if
Yeah,
it does good, they'll help fund a sequel.
yeah. I know that it's been playing on Tubi and some other streamers. So if you have not seen it, just fish around for it. It's very, very cool. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Okay, so at number 9, I have Ninja 3: The Domination. You
Yes.
seen that? That's a fun movie. See, that's one where the effects aren't the best, the acting isn't the best, but it's
That,
fun as hell.
that's the one with Lucinda Dickey, right? From the Canon films, right?
She's like she's like the jazzercise aerobics instructor. And then she gets
Lucinda,
possessed.
yeah, Lucinda Dickey was Canon's go-to girl. Man, if they needed, one of their stars, one of their female stars dropped out, they always grabbed her to throw her in there. She was very busy back in the day. Yeah, she was really well known. She couldn't fight,
Yeah,
but they
she did
still
good
put
in this movie, Yeah,
her.
she wasn't in the finale.
But yeah, but I mean, yeah, yeah, Canon movies can't go. You really can't go wrong with them. They're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun to watch. Let's see. She was a telephone pole aerobic instructor, martial artist. Oh, in real life. Wow, I didn't know she was a martial artist. I thought she just I thought they had a trainer for that.
I think she was the telephone pole. I think that's when she gets possessed. She's like working on like the pole.
Oh, okay.
The
Oh, this
start
is
of
her
it.
character in the movie. I thought they're talking about real life because I'm like I remember seeing I remember reading that she was not a martial artist. Uh, but yeah. Oh, in the movie. Okay, that's a what a cool movie to pick out,
Yeah,
Casey.
she does great. I love that movie. I bought like
Ooh,
a 8 movie pack just for that movie.
nice, nice. All right. My number nine. Is probably the one of the. I think if I'm not mistaken, I do believe it's the most big budgeted movie I have, but and that is the Pope's Exorcist with Russell Crowe.
Oh yeah, I like
Man,
that one.
I love that movie. I love that movie so much. I had so much fun with that, and I thought it was really brave. The writing that they had in that movie was brave. Basically, acknowledging the fact that the Catholic Church had its hand in the Inquisition, which it did, and for it actually have a mainstream movie point that out, man, I never thought I'd see the day I see that happen in a major studio, a movie. I never thought I'd see that. Um, I thought Russell Crowe absolutely looked like he's having fun, um, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that a lot. I was glad to see that they're going to try to work on a sequel. Um, Russell Crowe wants to do movies like this. You know, you can see that when he's trying to do the Dark Universe that Tom Cruise fucked up. You can see that he's trying to do more movies like that.
I still
Where
haven't watched The Mummy.
ah,
What was
he
he was
steals
like the
he
he was like
steals
the
it.
one that like brings it all together?
Yeah, he plays Mr. Jekyll and Dr. Hyde. He steals the movie. Absolutely. I would have paid to watch him take that character to another movie. They could have said, "Fuck it, we're not going to do Tom Cruise, not going to do the Mummy, but we're going to go ahead and keep Russell Crowe and do, I would have followed that. I definitely would have. Um, and I really thought he looks like he's having fun. That's what really comes across more than anything else. Is like he wants to be there. He's engaging. He's not cashing a paycheck. And I mean, I wish some of the supporting actors could have been a little bit more involved in the movie. That would have been helpful a little bit more. But Russell Crowe was absolutely a gem in this movie. I liked it. I liked it quite a bit.
You didn't like his little sidekick?
I liked his little sidekick. I thought the little
Okay.
sidekick
Yeah.
was yeah. It's sort of weird. It's like before the year before, Sony put out another movie called The Unholy, and which came out with Jeffrey Dean Morgan in a rare movie hit. I mean, like he was actually good in this. He actually got a good movie to act in because Jeffrey Dean Morgan has no luck when it comes down to movie scripts. That guy can't buy himself a movie hit. He just can't. But he did do of the Unholy, and I was really surprised with how well that went. And it sort of had the same sort of framework, except that instead Russell Crowe's the priest, it was Jeffrey Dean Morgan as the journalist, and he had a little bit of a sidekick, a priest helping him out. And it sort of reminded me of that with the Pope's Exorcist. Here's Russell Crowe. He's got himself a little sidekick, and they're all fighting evil. It's almost like
Right.
it's almost like they fine tuned the Unholy a little bit.
The
Though
little
though
like
it is
sidekick stuff reminded me of like Van Helsing.
though it is based on supposed to be based on a true story. There was a old priest that went around and did. He said he did thousands of exorcisms. Um, so, but I like the Pope's Exorcist. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was gonna review that together with the Exorcist Believer, and I just haven't never got around to watching Exorcist Believer. So I don't know.
Yeah, I keep hoping that will come down and drop at the library. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for some of these movies to drop in the library so I can pick them up so I can watch them. But I've been honest with you, man, it's been a little thin watching, trying to get some of these movies from the library lately. I don't get them as much as I used to.
All right, so my number 8 is The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. You seen that?
Oh,
It's
yeah, Darla.
Argento.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Argento.
I just watched that for the first time this year. I thought it was really good. It's a good whodunit, and I love me a good whodunit.
Right, right. Yeah, that's cool that we both got some Argento on our list. I got that lady from who starred in the first Suspiria in the Goldsmith, and then you got this one. How cool is that? Argento making a comeback. Um, yeah, I want to say I had that movie. I want to say that Bone sent me that movie. I know he sent
I
me.
think Arrow put it out recently. Maybe you
Um,
got that, but
no, I don't get the arrow, but I
have you
definitely got.
seen the It's on Tubi if you want to watch it and you don't have the physical, but have you watched Dark Glasses? Was it the Dark Glasses? Was that his new movie that came out recently?
Yeah,
I
how was
still haven't
that?
watched that.
I haven't either.
Oh.
The last thing I watched of his of Argento, I watched Giallo, which I reviewed with Adrian Brody,
Mm-hmm.
and that was not that good. I was disappointed in that. It looked sloppy.
Yeah, well, either way, Bird with the Crystal Plumage is good. At least I
Mm,
think it's good. I don't remember, what was it? That's my number 8. What's your number
mm.
8?
My number 8 is going back to Cinephobia releasing, and it's the Latent Image. So the Latent Image is a first for me, as I watched a movie with generally a gay lesbian a cast from top to bottom. And it was different. Um, I shouldn't say lesbian because there's no lesbians in here. It was a gay horror movie, and it was very different. And yeah, I mean, if you're not used to watching that, I mean, it can be a little jarring. But stay with it because it is worth it. Um, and it's very effective, very effective movie. Um, and the ending is unforgettable. Just stay with it to the ending. It's both heartbreaking and a voice from the grave, and but well worth it. It was a really well made movie. Um, I wish the acting from the other lead would have been just a little bit stronger. He was just a little bit too. He just didn't do it for me. I think his personality be just a little bit stronger, but otherwise, this movie was really good. And like I said, it was a first for me. I've never reviewed a gay movie before, and all the movies I reviewed, I've never done it straight out like that. So it was different for me. And yeah, it was a good movie. It was a really good movie. I recommend it. Xenophobia is Xenophobia is putting out some fantastic films, and they're going to be bringing more out in 2024. One movie's coming out. I'm supposed to be getting a copy of it soon, called The Glass Table. Yeah, I can already tell you right now, The Glass Tables are. I've already seen it once, but the official release isn't coming out till January. I can tell you right now that that'll be on my top. That'll be on my top 20 list already. That's a shattering film. That's a shattering film. That's one of those films that like Relic. That will stay with you. That will stay with you for a very long time. All right. So what do you got for number 7?
Let's see. I have The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. So that is the Nick Cage, Pedro Pascal movie.
Yeah.
You know about that movie?
Yeah. I got a copy of
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
I quite enjoyed that movie.
It was a lot of
Just,
fun.
yeah, they both do good. It's kind of I like Nick Cage playing like a comedic version of himself, you know.
You know the one movie I wanted to get, and it was weird. It's like I was hoping to get it this year, and I missed going to the library one day. I just didn't go. I don't know I didn't know why. I can't remember why, but I didn't go. And the next week I went there, and my friend was there, and she said that they had dropped off a copy of Pig, one copy,
I
and
still haven't seen that one.
I really wanted to see Pig. Of all the ones that he's done recently, I heard that was just amazing. Of course, we also interviewed Richard Stanley, who directed Nicolas Cage in Color Out of Space, and so yeah. But I really wanted to see Pig a great deal. I heard that was just really good.
Yeah, this one's kind of like a love letter to a lot of his movies. Older than those movies, but yeah, there's like Face Off and like a
The one
National Treasure and lots of
National Treasure.
callbacks to his older movies, some Ghost Rider.
Nice. He's got he really does have quite the resume. I mean, if you go back to see some of his movies, yes, there's some where he went off the rails, and you can definitely know that. But there's a lot of his body of work overall, though, from top to bottom, it's been pretty damn consistent. It really has been. Um, he just needs a strong hand. He needs a strong director to tell him what to do and what not to do. And when he gets a really strong director, he does his best work. It's like Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds hated Green Lantern, but he had Martin Campbell as a director. Martin Campbell directed James Bond's movies. You think Martin Campbell's going to let someone like Ryan Reynolds call the shots on his set? No, and he's going to make him work. I think Green Lantern's underrated, and I think it's underrated for Ryan Reynolds' work. But I also said because he had a strong director, it made the movie much better.
I'll say it's underrated, but I think it was overhated before Ryan Reynolds jumped on the hate train.
Yeah,
I think he started doing that like after Deadpool, but
yeah,
people hated it when it came out.
it really sucks too. That's probably the only thing I would ever tell him I would just tell him to shut the hell up about that. It's like, listen, if you don't like your own performance, that's fine. Then you can trash your own performance, but man, when you're trashing the whole damn movie, all those people that they may not be with you and see the movie quite the way you do when it comes down to trashing it. All those people work their asses off trying to make the best movie they possibly could, and then for you to go out there and just trash all their hard work, you know, it's it's a sign of immaturity for me. Disappointing to hear Ryan Reynolds talk that way, and the movie's
That's
not
his
that
thing.
bad.
He got like he's back in like the A list by just bringing back his Van Wilder childish character.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
all he
people
does.
want to see.
Yeah. Oh, what Deadpool?
Yeah,
You know,
Deadpool's
not
Van
Deadpool.
Wilder
Oh,
again.
you mean Hannibal King, right?
All right, so
Um,
what is your number 7?
my number 7 is Consecration on ISC Films. It stars the lovely Jenna Malone, Danny Houston. I love that movie. I just got done making a trade for Echo. In fact, Echo's package is going out tomorrow. My answer to his trade. Um, I love that movie. Consecration is a fantastic film. Uh, One I wanted to see. I did see it. I thought it was fantastic. Um, it's sort of weird. What's weird is like I knew that Echo had a copy of it, and he wanted to trade. He wanted to trade for the 2 seasons I had of the Red Dwarf, and I saw the movie. I saw Consecration, and I said, well, before you trade that to me, you might want to watch it because he hadn't watched it yet. I said, you might want to watch it because he might not want to trade it to me afterwards because the movie's really good, real good. And he, to his credit, he says, no, I'm going to go ahead and trade for it. I want the 2 Red Dwarf seasons. So I was blessed enough to trade for the Consecration. I think it's an amazing film. Definitely one of the best of the year.
Okay, so my number 6 is Shin Ultraman.
Nice.
Yeah, so this came out in January, so it barely made it. Or I guess I could have just watched it later.
I have a feeling, I could be wrong here, but I have a feeling your number. I think I already know your number one's going to be. I think it's
We'll
going to be.
see.
I think it's going to be Godzilla -1.
But I'm not the biggest Ultraman fan, but I think this movie was really good. It's kind of like 3 episodes combined. Like the narrative isn't from start to end really. And that's something they did in Shin Kamen Rider also, but I think it works better in Shin Ultraman. Good stuff, even with all CG.
You know, in the U.S. they used to do that a lot in the U.S. During the '60s, early '70s. Sometime a TV show would have like a 2-part or 3 or 4-part series, and they would combo them, and they would cut them and edit them and release them at the theater in Europe.
Yeah, they did that with a bunch of other stuff, but
Mm.
I like they do that with a lot of like animes. They'll put like 3 episodes and release them as like a movie, or more than 3 episodes. There's some that are like 2 hour long movies, but I don't know. This is the first time I've seen like a newer movie that's not a compilation, but it plays like a compilation,
Mm.
and it works for
Um,
Shin Ultraman better than Shin Kamen Rider.
Ben says he watched that Shin Ultraman in theaters. He missed Kamen Rider, but I think it's on Prime.
Yeah, it's on Prime. It's under Shin Masked Rider, I think, that's just what Kamen Rider
What
means.
does Shin mean in Japan? I mean, like I know they have like
It's like
Shin
new.
Godzilla.
It's like it means
Okay,
new,
okay.
basically, in
So
this
new
regard. I think it
Ultraman.
can mean a few different things.
Okay, okay. Let's see, my number 6. I watched this in January of last year, but it still made my list, and that is Martyrs from 2008. That's a bonkers movie. That's a that's a good movie. That's a good movie.
It's the remake.
No, God, no, no, original French one. Um, no, I know about the American remake. No, no, no. I would probably lose my fanboy card if I said the remake. Um, but the original one in France, it's a fantastic film. I didn't know what to expect from it going in, and then as I kept on getting into it, first you think the girls are absolutely crazy and they've gone on a murder spree, and then you find out that they really were victims, and they were really right about what the one girl knew that something had done to her. Um, it looks brutal, when you see the girls being assaulted, and it's hard to actually explain this to people when you sit there and say that's absolutely brutal. He's beating her, and it's like, but yes, it's absolutely terrible, but it actually plays a part in the story. It's like, that's sort of weird that you would ever think that kind of just brutality is crucial to a story. Most of the time it's just there's nothing there that you could put that 2 plus 2 together to equal a story. But Martyrs, it does. It's a haunting movie for sure. It definitely stays with you. Um, it's an amazing film, and the acting from top to bottom was some of the strongest I've seen this year. I know the movie came out in 2008, and just tells you again that the French can do horror, and they can do horror really, really, really well. Um, yeah, would I see Martyrs again? Not for a while, not for a long time. That's, but I do appreciate it for what it was, and I do think it was one of the best movies I saw last year.
Okay, so my number 5 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse,
Nice.
which is
I've seen a lot of
very
those.
good. I've been a fan of Spider-Gwen since they did the Into the Spider-Verse comic miniseries. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of her in that, so that was cool. It's not. it's not a complete story, which I didn't know going into it. So it just kind of stops in the in the middle.
Oh,
So that was kind of shocking to me. I wish that didn't happen. Now I have to wait until the next installment.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see if they can get a live action Spider-Verse going because so
They
far,
did
no.
that, and I think that's done with it. They did No Way Home, which was really good, but I didn't watch this year. But
Well,
I
I'm
think
thinking,
that's it. I think that's got to be it. Like
well, I'm
the
thinking about they
multiverse
try to
thing's
do.
kind of running its course, you know.
I think they ran Venom. They did Venom, and they did Venom Carnage, and both Venom.
I think Tom Hardy had a cameo in the post credits, mid credit scene of No Way Home.
Well, Michael Keaton had I think he had a cameo in the Morbius.
Oh, did
Um,
he?
yeah, he had a cameo in Morbius. Now they're coming out with Madam Web, and
That's he's the vulture in it?
I no no, he was just in prison. He was in prison. He wasn't in Vulture outfit, but
But he was the
but
character though?
yeah, it was
Okay,
character.
cool.
They're doing Madam Web and they're doing
Yeah, I
Craven.
saw that. Like, I don't know why they went with Madam Web over Spider Woman or Silk or like more known things, but
I don't know why either. I'm like nobody knows who the fuck Madam Web is. I mean, some people,
hey,
more
they got
people might
money to
know.
lose. They got money to lose,
Yeah,
you know.
well, they're gonna lose it. Craven, they made him from being a villain into an anti-hero, and it's like,
They should
but
have done Craven a long time ago.
they should have did the Super Sinister
Just like
Six
they
a long time ago.
just like they should have done fucking Gambit a long time ago. Like,
Oh,
oh, what are they
absolutely.
doing? Why are they doing these other characters? These
Yeah,
lesser.
Gambit was amazing. Steven Strait as Gambit, I would have watched that all day long.
They always okay. So like the Godzilla thing, they're always like, why don't they bring this kaiju to the MonsterVerse? And it'll be like someone no one cares about. It's like because they don't make money. But then they have Marvel that does it with these characters that no one cares about, and they're not going to make money instead of using the big characters. I don't understand.
Let's see. I'll say, did he appear in Vulture costume? I thought he was just in the prison when he met Morbius. I didn't think he was. I didn't think he was. I didn't think he was actually in the suit in Morbius. But they should have did the Sinister Six. And if
They
you're gonna
were
make
using that a
if you're
long
gonna make
time ago in
if you're gonna
Amazing
make anybody
Spider-Man
an
2.
anti-hero, and if you're gonna make anybody an anti-hero, you should have made it Morbius, not Craven. Oh, okay. I missed that then. Wow. Okay. But Morbius got trashed. And
Yeah, I still need to see Morbius.
yeah, I do too. I like Morbius. Morbius is one of my favorite Marvel characters. But I'm thinking they should have introduced him on Marvel on Disney Plus. They should. That's where they should have introduced him.
Ben's saying he is an anti-hero.
He is an anti-hero.
Okay.
Yeah, he definitely is. He was in the comics too. I mean, he was. But Craven's a straight out villain. He's a bad guy. He's not an anti-hero. He's a bad guy.
He's just hunting.
Yeah, yeah. He's just, just put that back. Put that on the bumper sticker. Just hunting. My number 5 was Clay Zombies.
I heard a
That's
lot
right.
about clay zombies.
That's right. Clay Zombies is my number 5 film of the year. I absolutely love that movie. I think it's a lot of fun. Jake Jolly and his crew they kicked ass. We saw a cameo appearance by the lovely Diane Franklin from the 80s. She was really cute in the movie. Touch the Clay, have a very bad day. And it was a fun movie. They got done just now making a TV, not TV, but a Christmas episode of Clay Zombies. That came out, and yeah, um, I think Clay Zombies is a lot of fun. I'm eager to see what Jake Jolly will do next. I think he's time. I think it's time for him to move away from Clay Zombies for a while and see what else he can do. I definitely look forward to seeing what else what he can create. But for this year, Clay Zombies definitely a lot of fun. Extremely rewatchable. Clay Zombies, you can watch that movie You can watch that thing back to back, no problem, and still laugh your ass off. Um, yeah, I enjoy Clay Zombies quite a bit.
All right, so for my number 4, I have Scream 6. So Scream's one of my favorite movies, right?
Mhm.
I was
Right?
disappointed by Scream 4, disappointed by Scream 5, but Scream 6 really did it for me. And they didn't have Dev, and they still knocked it out of the park.
Nice, nice.
And they lost all that goodwill already. The next looks like it's going to be a dumpster fire. They lost their 2
Yeah,
leads. They lost their director. I don't know. They
yeah.
should just cancel it.
Well, you know what's funny? I was watching that, and and as we know, Craven Something Scary. Steven, he's a huge Scream fan, and I saw him basically yelling at everybody this week, saying that it's not Christopher Landon's fault that the movie's not being made, and you're absolutely right. It's not his fault.
I guess it's still being made though. That's the problem. It should just
Well,
stop. you know.
I mean, he also got mad at Spyglass for causing all the ruckus. Um, I can't go along with that.
They
I think
caused
Spy.
some ruckus, but
I think
they can't just say they caused all the ruckus.
no. I think Melissa Becerra needs to own what she said. She misspoke. She misspoke horribly. Spyglass had every right to fire her ass for that, and I was glad to see that they did because it was irresponsible for what she said. It's like you're a well-known public person, and you should know better than going around and spewing shit like what she's doing. It's like a free speech is it's not free. You got to be held accountable for some of the shit you say. If you say it, you got to be prepared to own it. And that means if you're saying horrible shit, well then you know that's what happens. You got being called to the carpet on it. Jenna Ortega, of course, she had to quit. I mean, she had to quit because she
They
had
could work
to.
around her schedule if they wanted to,
Sure,
but they
well,
don't
maybe.
to.
I think she wanted to get away from it. I think she wanted to get back into Wednesday. Wednesday's the property that broke her. So
It
I
didn't
think she
break
I
her,
think
but like it definitely put
oh yeah.
her up and up.
Yeah, it definitely elevated her. I mean, it really did. I mean, she was let's say her star was climbing, but with Wednesday it just it got major boost. I mean, she got more notice for that than she did appearing in Scream and X. Um, so so
So like 4 and 5, they try to do all this meta stuff, like in the dialogue constantly, like way too much. 6
mhm.
tones it down, but then they make the movie itself meta in a way, and I didn't expect it, even though it was right there in my face, and I love them for doing that. I thought that was the smartest thing the franchise has done in a long time. And Ben Grimm says Clay Shark's next. You watching that?
Oh hell yeah! I'm all about clay sharks. Hell yeah! Count me in for that. Um, yeah, I think what it was. I think there's a lot of projects that are going on now after the strike, and I think basically you have a finite amount of time to make your projects because all these people are in demand. I mean, they are crazy in demand.
Yeah.
You literally have to hit the ground running, do Scream 7,
I
and then
don't think
having
they
the time.
can. It's gonna be exactly what they've been making fun of. I don't know if you watched the recent ones. They're like, yeah, these stab movies, they're just campy horror movies that don't make any sense. It's just a killer. That's what they have to do at this point. They have no story to go off of. That's
No,
worth a
no,
damn,
I don't know
if
what
they
they're
unless
gonna
they
do.
want Ghostface to follow Courtney Cox wherever she's going.
Well, I
Maybe
mean,
maybe Courtney Cox will be on an island somewhere and they'll have Ghostface, tropical Ghostface.
why
I don't
not?
know.
Maybe Castaway Ghostface.
There you go.
Instead of Wilson, it'll be Ghosty. Ghosty, come back, Ghosty. Well, Ghosty.
All right,
Um,
what's your next movie?
my number four for the first time watch, was Swallow. Swallow. We watched that and
A
covered that for the
bird
IFC
movie.
Midnights. Fantastic movie with Haley Bennett. Very disturbing movie. definitely an Oscar-worthy performance by Haley Bennett for sure. Um, it's a movie stays with you, stays with me even today. It's just a really good performance and a really tough subject, and yeah, it was a fantastic movie. And yeah, I really liked it quite a bit. I thought it was very different, and I thought the performance was really brave by Haley Bennett. I thought she deserved a lot more credit than what she got for it. Carlos Mira Davis um, made a beautiful film, directed really well. I know a lot of people were sort of put off with the ending, but it does work. It does work. The ending does work because there's no simple answer for it. People want everything all tied up neat in the package. In a situation like that, it wasn't going to happen. But it was a really fine movie, and I really liked Swallow quite a bit. And that was my number 4 film.
Okay, so my number 3 is House of the Devil,
Oh,
which I
wow.
somehow had not seen
Mm,
until this year. It's very good.
yeah.
Bones gave it to me.
Oh, Bala.
Like
Bala.
that's one of those movies, all right. The
Yeah.
story is good, the acting is good, the cinematography is good, sound good.
Dude, when that scene where the main guy gets Greta, I didn't see that coming at all. I was sitting there like, okay, and bam, he just all of a sudden out of the blue, it's just like Jesus Christ, it's like you just weren't expecting it. It was like a sledgehammer. It's like holy crow. Um, but yeah, it's a great movie. Ty West, Dark Sky film. I had that one, and the other one I really liked of his was The Innkeepers. That also came out on Dark Sky. Another fantastic Ty West film. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's a good pick. That's a great pick. All right, my number 3 is Dying to Sleep, which I thought was a beautiful film. Supposed to I think it wanted to come across. It wanted to, when you first read about it, you're thinking it's a horror film, but when you watch it, it really isn't a horror film. It's a family film with supernatural elements into it. Beautiful ending, beautiful ending. I really like the ending of the movie a lot. I thought the cast was excellent, well directed by Dylan Paris. Um, Paris. I can always get I'm kind of. I hope it is right. Because he has 2 first names. Like, please let it be Paris Dillon. Um, but either way, it's a fantastic movie. I really enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought it was full of heart. It has all the right, pushes all the right buttons. And it's really well done. And yeah, I got some emotion into that movie toward the end, which is always good for me. Highly recommend it too. Highly recommend it. So, Dying to Sleep was my 3rd favorite movie of the year.
All right, so number 2, I've got Godzilla -1. Yeah,
Number 2.
is a good movie as far as giant monsters that I do
Oh,
like. It has a lot of the stuff I
I
like
know.
from those movies, and it does it very well. And then
Now,
it's
is there
got a
any
good human story too. Well, it's not the best human story, but it's good enough. It makes you emotional at parts, which doesn't happen in basically all the other ones. So
is there any sort of clue or hint or anything about other monsters, or is it just strictly 100% Godzilla all the time?
it's just him.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So,
there's some weird stuff at the end, but it's not really explained what it is. It's kind of just to get you talking about it. It's probably, I don't know if you watch Shin Godzilla. It's probably kind of like that end
okay.
shot of that, just to get people talking, and it's never gonna be elaborated on, probably.
So no Gigan then.
No,
Oh. So your number one's gonna be Godzilla versus Gigan X.
I don't. Did that come out? What is that?
Did they come out during
I
Godzilla Day?
don't know. I don't know.
I
Oh,
thought it
that.
came
I
out during
don't know.
Godzilla
That
Day.
was the Jet Jaguar thing. Oh, you talking about
Oh,
the? Was that this year? No, no,
Yeah,
no.
I think
Gigan Rex was last year.
yeah, I think Jet Jaguar was this year.
Yeah, and then the
Yeah.
Megalon short, yeah.
Then they brought back King Ghidorah as a beast, as a
Yeah,
boss.
yeah. They'll probably
Yeah,
continue that little thing next year, hopefully.
hopefully. My number two is a short film called Afterglow that was written and directed by Crystal Lowell. She also stars in it. It's a personal film, very personal. I watched it and immediately knew. I immediately recognized the story for what it was. I knew it was about her right away, and I was like, I was blown away. Um, she has turned into a fine director. This is her second short film that I've watched and reviewed. Actually, I have not been able to review this yet because it's not been, as far as I know, it's still on the festival circuit. So I have not reviewed it, but I definitely plan to when I can. Um, it's basically it's telling a story side by side. It's her, it's about this woman who she works in porn films, but she wants to break out. She wants to do something else, and everybody keeps typecasting her as being that's the only thing she can do is porn films, and she knows she's much capable, much she's able to do anything else. She can do other things other than that, and so she's working hard to get her break. And of course, every time she goes to a job, the guy hits on her and stuff like that, and so at the end of the day, she ends up being a waitress at a restaurant, but it's something that she's good at. She can do other things than than the one thing she's been labeled to do. And like I said, this is a very personal story for her. Um, and I appreciate it. I thought it was a brave choice. I thought the story was well written. Obviously, it didn't feel like she was acting in the movie. It actually, because it was her story, she was just sharing the story, not the porn part of it, of course, but the fact that her herself was getting typecast in all these different roles, and nobody would let her breathe. No one would let her take flight. Like I can play these other roles if give me a chance, and of course she heard no for a lot of times for too many people. Um, luckily in real life, luckily in real life, she is doing really really well. Will be filming her first film for Hallmark this year. She'll be directing her first feature film for Hallmark. Very excited to see that. I do hope they don't give her a Christmas movie. I don't want her to do a Christmas movie for her first film. I want her to do a drama or a straight rom com or a murder mystery. Uh, greetings. How are you? Let's see. Try Mark Pictures. I certainly do. Yep. So Afterglow would be my number two movie for this year.
So my number one movie is Mobile Suit Gundam Hathaway. You know about those Mobile Suit Gundams?
Isn't that like Robotech?
Yeah, it's like giant mech suits. It's a lot of
Mm.
like war stuff, and space colony stuff. This one is pretty character driven, and then near the end they finally get to the action scenes and they're done really good. I'm not big on the 2D animes that have 3D animations thrown in, but this one is the first one I've seen that looks really good, and they have like dynamic cameras going on with it.
Okay.
And the characters, even though it's a self-contained story, the characters are, some of them are from older installments, and it works with them, and it builds on pre-established lore, but you don't need to know it to get the movie. And then it ends not like Spider-Verse Across the Spider-Verse. It's a self-contained story, but then it makes you want to see what happens next. which
Right.
I
Right.
I immediately after this movie, I went off to see if the sequels had been made, and they haven't. They keep getting delayed.
Oh,
But that's the thing. I just kept wanting to watch it. That's how good the movie was.
right. Right. Yeah, I love stories like that. Um, man, it's funny. Even though I have never watched the second one, because I've heard so much about it, and I already know people already ragged on it and everything else. But man, the last movie, a movie like that I just wanted to instantly see another one right away was Pacific Rim. Man, as soon as that first one was over with, I wanted to see another one. I
Yeah.
wanted them to cross the breach. I wanted them to go. When I heard about Godzilla, the Godzilla movies, I'm going like, they gotta cross over. They gotta cross over.
I
Uh,
mean, I think the second one's probably on Tubi. It's not good. It's not as bad as everyone makes it out to be, though. Just has
yeah,
some weird stuff. Like they lost the sense of weight. They're just kind of like floating around.
yeah.
There's
I
some
just I
decent, and
saw
they
the
they wasted whatever her name was, Mako Mori.
Mako Mori.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
wasted her.
you knew she was gonna be she was gonna be it was either going to be Raleigh or her that was going to die. Once they said Charlie Hunnam wasn't coming back, then you're going to like, oh, they're going to kill his character off, or kill them both off to bring new characters in, and that's basically what happened. Hi, Jamie. Um, my number one movie is pretty easy. I've been on it all year long. It's pretty much right here, right now. My number one movie this year that I watched is Brightwood by Cinephobia Releasing. That movie is heads and shoulders above everything I've watched this year. It is a dynamic movie, well written, directed, and acted. It is one that will haunt you for a very long time. If you're a couple, if you're a married couple, or even in a long term relationship, you will understand. You can relate to this movie. It is a relationship science fiction horror film, and it is a keeper. It is an amazing film. It will blow your mind. It will definitely blow your mind. You'll have to go back and rewatch it. You'll rewatch it again and again to see, because you'll pick up something new every time you do watch it. Um, Hats off to Max Warendijk and Dana Berger for putting together just a kick-ass performance, and of course Dana Elcar wrote it and directed it, and yep, fantastic film, and that was my number one film from 2023. Wow, we got through this.
We did.
Where's Max? Is he back on your lap?
He went. No, he went away.
Oh,
I don't know if he had to use the bathroom or he was hungry, but I let him out of the room.
okay, okay. Well, I enjoyed doing this. I didn't think this would quite last quite this long, but
Yeah,
I
me either.
enjoyed it. But that's because you and I watch great movies. That's why.
Yeah, we
Uh,
had a lot to say about Cocaine Cougar, Amazing Bulk.
yeah, you know what though? I sort of look at it as a community service. Like, it's part of our duty.
Is it a service? Because
Yeah,
I I hear you suggesting Amazing Bulk and or not cocaine, Ouija Shark to people to watch.
I
Especially, I'm
do.
pretty sure you suggested Blood Claws to a lot of people to
Oh,
watch.
well, of course we have to say blood clots. 'Cause there's nothing more fun than to get somebody to watch a bad movie, so they can come back and say, "Hey, Patrick, yeah, you know that movie Blood Claws you told me to watch? Yeah, go jump off a cliff." Hi, Sue. How are you? We just finished presenting our bottom 10 and our top 10 movies of the year. And we had a lot of fun doing it. I hope you had a lot of fun hanging out with us, Casey. It was good seeing you and
Oh
Max
yeah, I
together.
don't know where Paladin was.
I don't know.
Maybe
He's old. He's older now, so
he's cold. He's huddled
yeah,
up somewhere.
he is. He's underneath the blanket. I'll go in there and I'll turn on the light, and then I'll just tap the bed and I'll hear him meow. He'll sit there and say, "I'm right here. I'm right here." But yeah, tomorrow night I'm thinking about doing a watch party for Brightwood. So if I do, I'll put that up tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow night, if people want to come over and watch Brightwood, it's on Tubi. Love to have some people come out and watch it and tell us what your thoughts about it are. I think it's a fantastic film, and like to see what you guys think as well. So look for that. And then Thursday at 8 o'clock is our last 8 questions with show. We're talking to Jason, Jason from Jason the Nice One. We'll be talking to him. I think we're supposed to have a special co-host if she's able to make it. I know she's been battling a cold. That's our friend Lady Valerie from Val's Views. Yeah. So that will be next Thursday, and then a bunch of new shows we'll be announcing on Thursday as well. So what's going on with your channel before we get out of here, Casey?
Not much. I probably have a video for New Year's. That's about it. I'm not sure where Midnight Hour will be this week. I'll probably be there though. Probably Hobbs or Bones.
You do know that Hobbs lost the cat food bet.
Well, I don't even know what this cat food bet is. Okay.
Okay,
I don't know. No, it's okay. I don't need to know. Whatever. You guys can eat cat food if you want to.
Jamie says she's going to go on Craving Something Scary tomorrow night.
Nice.
That is awesome. That's cool as hell. So here's the cat food bet. Like before we did real cat food, and people were like sort of like, oh my god, are you really doing real cat food? So what we did was we kept the cat food bet in name only. So no, we're not going to make Hobbs eat cat food. In order to eat cat food, that the Steelers and the Bengals play 2 games, and whoever's team won both games, the other guy has to eat cat food. So we're going to do it a little differently this year. We're not going to do real cat food, even though that would be entertaining, but I don't want Hobbs getting sick. So the cat food really is a fruit pie. You have to go to the store. You have to get a pie. You have to buy yourself a pie, whipped cream. You have to put your hands behind your back. You have to hit your hands behind the back, and you have to eat the pie with no hands on camera, with whipped cream on it.
He's gonna do that on Midnight Hour.
Yeah, I don't know where he's gonna do it at. We're gonna, he has to get his pie first. I'm not sure what pie he's gonna get. If it's apple, cherry, lemon, I don't know, but he's gonna have to get a pie. He's gonna have to put it down so we all can see him. He has to put his hands behind your back, and then you have to eat the pie with just eating. That's the bet.
All right. Well. See how much fun he has with that. Thanks for hanging out, Timothy, and everyone else. Jamie Hart's still doing the horror tour of the month. I guess you can vote on her channel for the next few days.
I think she is for now on for a whole year.
A whole year?
A whole year, I think she's known as Queen Jamie.
Oh, that's Queen fine. Jamie. Yeah, I'm down with that.
I'm down with that too. Queen Jamie Hart. I'm gonna be saying that for an entire year.
All right. See you guys.
All right. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you. Hopefully, maybe tomorrow for sure. Thursday night, 8 o'clock. We're Jason the Nice One. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.